Hello, people. How you doing? This is Danny. This is my good friend Terrance, and we are Equilibrium. This is our new show that we do on Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Basically, what we do. Well, before we get into it, I just want to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. Please subscribe to Terrance's channel. We both are trying to get.
Uh, Danny, I think your mic is muted.
All right, can you hear me now? All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Any comment that you leave, I will respond to you. I try to check mine every day. If I miss a day, I don't miss two. But I leave up a poll every week that I try to change, and I also dictate. And like I said, please leave a thumbs up. Please hit notification bell, and please subscribe. My next goal is to try to get 1,500 subscribers by Father's Day, which is the third weekend in June. That is my goal. I can only do that with your help. Today, before we go into our main topics, I'm going to make a generalized statement about YouTube um, etiquette, how you should act on YouTube. Well, my opinion on how you should act, because everyone's grown, everyone's going to do what they want to do. Some people like to get on this, be a keyboard warrior and say stuff and be all say what they want to say because they're not right in front of the person. But in my opinion, YouTube is for the person that decides to go out on the limb and do this because they want to get their point across. You can get your point across as much as you want to, but you don't have to insult others that are trying to do the same thing. Just because you don't care about their content or the way that they um, put out their content doesn't give you the right, in my opinion, to laugh at them, pick fun, make fun of them, all that kind of stuff. It's not what YouTube is intended for. You're not going to see it on my channel. If someone comes on my channel and I don't like what they say, and I see we just ain't vibing, we ain't clicking, probably not going to see that person on my channel again. I can't speak for others, but there's no need to go out and laugh, make fun, pull up pictures, do this kind of stuff. Um, a friend of mine, Terrance, went through that last week. I'm not going to say what YouTube channel it was on. I'm not even going to say any names. Just gonna make a generalized, broad statement. I don't think it was cool. Like I said, um, whenever the person takes the time to come up with a YouTube account, come up with content, whether you think it's foolish, funny, or not, that's that person's own opinion or his or her particular flavor. If you don't like his or her particular flavor, then don't click on it. Don't subscribe. Don't watch it. Go on about your business. There are several people in this medium that I don't care for. I don't like. I don't watch. I watch it one time. I say, "Oh, that ain't for me." I move on. I don't have to come on my channel and poke fun at their channel because that's their particular opinion or take on whatever it is. They want to go in there and make 30-second clips or whatever. That's their time. That's their business. If you don't like it, yeah, you can choke and laugh what you do off screen. But why come on screen or why invite the person on screen on your show just to humiliate them or make fun or whatever the case may be? I don't think it's cool. You never have to worry about that on my show. I may not always agree with people that's on my show. But like I said, if there's not good chemistry, we got totally different philosophies on life or the particular case, and they kind of rub me the wrong way. I'm gonna be professional on the air. I'm gonna keep my cool, but I'm probably not going to invite them again. And that's just my spiel. That's my me sitting on the seat, saying my 2 cents worth. I'm gonna let Terrence add in what he want to add in, and then from there we're gonna go to the show. But I just want to say that as a disclaimer, man, it's not cool. We all got different ideas, different flavors, different content, so it's not cool in my opinion to poke fun at someone. Go ahead, Terrence.
So, the interesting thing about this panel of six humans, I've I've interacted with all of them, uh, not so much recently, but I mean, I've had a period of months where I've, talked to these humans. And the funny thing is, with this particular situation where, they took a moment to bash me for 10 minutes on their stream as soon as I arrived, you know, uh, it's just one of those things. I knew that that was going to happen at some point because, they exhibited a lot of the negative behaviors that I've had from various interactions with humans before. There is usually a pattern. When you take away all the trivial stuff and when you just get down to the type of person, they got certain kinds of traits, right? So they had these traits that I've dealt with throughout my entire life, and I was like, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give humans a chance because that's what I do. Because if I didn't do that, me and Danny wouldn't be cool. We wouldn't be friends. I mean, none of this kind of stuff would be possible if I didn't give humans a chance. But I'm just like in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I hope this is one of those situations where I have these humans painted in a particular category, and I hope that I'm wrong. But I was right though, and I prefer to be wrong. I don't want to deal with trash talkers or anything like that. I prefer not to. I would like to be pleasantly surprised. But these humans on the panel, every single one of them, they're like, yeah, Terrance, we're cool with you. We're your friend and stuff like that. And I wasn't on the panel itself. I was in the chat and I specifically said, hey, send me a link so I can defend myself. And because, I'm not a chump, it doesn't have to resort to violence. But I'm like, yo, if you're going to get to talk, I should be able to talk too, because there is no, we're going to silence Terrance. It's like, no, as soon as you let me speak, like, me, Danny, like, I will defend whatever my position. But if it's about me personally, there ain't no shutting me up. But what you can do is you can prevent me from talking by not allowing me a link. And then, the whole, well, the panel's full. Last time I checked, the person that's in charge of the stream can put people on, take people off. And they didn't do that. I'm like, you got a panel full of 6 people. You can remove one person,
And
let me
whatever.
come in. And then they didn't do that. So I was just like, oh, okay. So they're not going to let me talk. And I wasn't surprised by that either. But it was just, jokes are fine because you and me, Danny, we joke about different stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
And but that kind of stuff, though, I'm just like, uh, okay, I see what you're doing. Because the sad thing, Danny, is that more often than not, when I'm invited on streams, or even in my own personal life, when I'm like invited to be somewhere or to be part of something, they usually only have me there for entertainment purposes because I am the way I am. So they're just like, well, if Terrance is there, we can use him and use him for entertainment purposes. We can say stuff to him. And I guess they also feel comfortable in doing so because they're like, well, Terrance is not going to get mad. He's not like everybody else. And I'm like, it's not about me getting mad. It's just about respect. You don't see me doing that kind of shit. So I'm just like, what makes you think that just because somebody has a certain level of discipline that they're going to be okay with certain kind of behavior? I'm like, no, because I'm like, I don't like to be disrespected. And that's just not right. And it's happened multiple times before, and I let it slide. But the difference being is that at least the other times I was able to talk and say stuff to where when you're in a chat, you can be ignored. They can skip over you, and anybody that's watching, they're going to pay attention to the person talking more than individuals in the chat, just because when you talk, it's a lot faster than stopping every couple of seconds and reading something. I mean, look at all that I just said right now. It would take me a long time to type all that out and for them to read all that in combination with everybody else saying stuff. So, I definitely don't like that. And, I've heard, and it's interesting because nobody on that panel defended me. Not a single soul on there, but they all cool with Terrance though, right, Danny? Like no one said nothing about nothing. I was waiting because you only had like so many of them that were actually talking, and then the rest, they weren't really talking, but they were laughing. So if you're laughing, then that shows me that you're supporting whatever's being said. Like not a single soul defending me. So that's what I'm used to. It's either, as I said before, like humans pissing on my name, or they're okay with people doing that. They just laugh. So like, I told you before, Danny, I come from a background of verbally abusive parents, humans picking on me and all kinds of shit like that. So I'm used to that stuff, but that doesn't mean I like it. And I would prefer to be able to defend myself, but whenever I try to say something, they're like, "Oh no, them was jokes, Terrence. We didn't mean it like that." I'm just like, "Are you sure?" Because usually with jokes, there's like a little smidget of the truth in every joke. Like even if you look at comedians when they say stuff, sure, they're trying to make people more at ease with uncomfortable situations and stuff like that. But while you're laughing, the reason why you laugh is because you've detected, assuming that you were able to pick up on the joke, you were smart enough to see what they said. You're like, oh man, that's a very funny, clever way that they just put that. It's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily as extreme as they said in the joke, but it's like there's some underlining truths there. And then that's how you can laugh, or you can go, oh man, that's pretty messed up right there. I completely got what he or she said, like that's why it's done like that. And usually it's done in terms of jokes because um, humans say like, that's too blunt or whatever. And they're like, you can't do it like that. A lot of humans, they're very nervous to say something straightforward. So they got to mix it in with a joke. But I'm like, when it's repetitive, I'm just like, I don't think you're joking anymore. I think you actually feel this way. And then now it's a whole group of you, which tells me that you were simply waiting for the opportunity to do that. Them thinking like, okay, I can get away with this. It's like, sure. But the thing that I like about me today, Danny, is that the one thing that I don't have to deal with are humans laying hands on me, right? That doesn't happen anymore. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I'm not saying that it can't. I'm not saying I'm the toughest dude in the world, but I can definitely beat the crap out of a lot of people. I'm not like small and weak. I'm not like as easy of a target as I used to be. I got my strength, I got my skills, I got my mental discipline. So people can't just come up to me and just slam me up against the locker and stuff how they used to can do, but they can still say stuff, like sneak in a little comments here and there. Oh, he ain't gonna get mad, or he'll be fine with this. I'm like, I didn't tell you I was fine with that. Like, it's just for some reason it's kind of silly to me that you would think that anybody would be fine with being disrespected like that, especially when it's a whole group of people.
I
I'm like,
got
nah,
you.
I don't like that, Danny. So what that told me is that I don't need to communicate with them anymore. Like I'm not hating on them or anything. Like even I told you, you know, um, you can have anybody on our show. Like I'm not really against that. There's no hiding or none of that. But depending on who's on there, I'd be like, hey man, like what happened? Or hey young lady, what happened? And
I
they
got
may or not, be willing to cooperate, Danny. But my thing is like I never say or do things for the sake of getting people on my side or changing someone's mind. It's very simple. Like if they talk, I will listen.
you. Went out, Terrence. If you can hear me, I can't hear you anymore. Terrence, you there? Hello, Terrence. Terrence, if you can hear me, I can no longer hear you. I don't know whether you got to go back out and come back in. Can you hear me now, Terrence? Terrence. Well, Terrence is having technical difficulties. I'm sure he'll come back on. But we're gonna try and go on with the show. Basically, today we're gonna talk about several things. Black Lightning season finale. For those of you that watch Black Lightning, um, I'm streaming now. Killer Kelly. I'm streaming with Terrence. I'm trying to get him back on. I think we have a little bit of technical difficulties. But we're gonna be talking here probably for the next couple of hours. In particular, we talking about Black Lightning. We're gonna be talking about the Black Widow final trailer, a little bit of Clone Wars episode 4. This came out this past Friday. We started off the show talking about. I haven't got invitation with Rob Killer Killer, so I don't know. I may or may not. It depends on how he's feeling and what I'm doing. But we started off the show talking about YouTube etiquette. Just Terrence little pedo about a recent stream he was on, and I'm just saying, look, it's not cool to criticize other YouTubers, laugh at them jokes. I mean, that's not what it's about. It's about you taking a step of the courage and you presenting your particular content the way that you want to. Look like Terrence back on. Let's see if we got him. You back?
Oh yeah, yeah. So what was the last thing you heard? Because I don't know when that.
Terrence, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Uh, yeah, I can hear you good now.
Okay, yeah. So
I mean,
what?
I was going in a different direction.
Oh yeah.
You're saying a bit more or less that you were now physically able to take care of yourself, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Just like,
and I was just saying that it's not right that that kind of stuff happens. But humans are
yeah,
they get more courageous when they're behind a screen.
yeah. You're right. I agree with everything you said, man, and sorry that happened to you. I'm glad that you didn't put every other human in the category. Um, a lot of us are not like that, man. Like I said, I try to treat people exactly how they treat me. If you treat me with respect and kindness, then you're probably going to get treated the same way. If you're going to be a butthole or whatever the case may be, then guess what? Um, you probably won't.
Uh,
I probably won't deal with you. So,
uh, man, see, man, I don't. Because I mean, I did say a couple things. Like I'll try to go over real quick. All I was saying was when I got cut off was that, I noticed that none of the humans on the panel defended me. There was no defending Terrence, right?
yeah,
And I wasn't surprised by that either because I'm used to that. It's usually, humans talking trash, and then the ones that aren't, they just laugh. Which to me, I'm just like, well, you just telling me that you supporting what they saying.
yeah,
And it's like, if I can't, I'm just like, yo, let me talk, let me do this and that. And they're just like, nah, you don't get to talk because we're in control of this. I'm like, yeah, that's true. But don't you think it's a little messed up that you ain't, I tell you to send me a link and you ain't trying to do that? Or when I do talk, you want to contradict me or say that I'm lying to you as if I have a reason to lie. I'm like,
yeah,
I ain't got to lie about nothing. I'm like, if nothing else, I'm consistent. Like I'm consistently me. There's no reason that any human should doubt me, whatever I'm saying, because I don't give you any reason to, unless the human is just being ridiculous for the sake of being ridiculous.
yeah. I feel what you're saying, but we'll touch on it again before we get off. But right now, we got several topics I want to discuss.
Absolutely, yeah,
First of all, season finale of Black Lightning. What did you
yeah.
think?
Oh man, when it opened up with Killgrave, I mean not Killgrave, Gravedigger. I'm thinking of Marvel. When it opened up with Gravedigger going up against Black Lightning, I was just like, that's a good way to open it because I didn't know if it was going to start with that or they was going to have another scene and then it would go back into that. But they did their thing, and I liked how it was going back and forth. But I also noticed that Black Lightning wasn't doing any sort of significant damage. So I'm like, okay, that told me that they're probably going to fight again somewhere in the episode, and then maybe at that point Black Lightning will discover some kind of weak point because I didn't see it with Gravedigger, which is concerning that I couldn't directly see any obvious weakness of his and his ability to adapt to the fighting because he's been around so long. That's where that experience comes in, right? So I enjoyed that. And the rest of the episode, Danny, was it was really intense because you felt like the people were free and they were doing their thing and they had to deal with the Markovians. And I want to know what you thought about when Lala showed up, like because I thought that was nice.
Yeah, I like the way they did that. I've seen it before where the bad guy and the good guy they got a I guess the enemy of my enemy is my friend type of deal. That what
Yeah.
it was. Um, um, I also like well not like but I saw that the agent I can't think of his name the one that George Duke plays he is cold blooded.
Oh yeah,
Tying up
Odell. Yeah.
Odell tying up the loose ends and stuff. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the way that I really started liking Gravedigger a lot more. At first, I didn't really care for him, but
Okay.
I can see what he's fighting for. I can see his point of view. Um, I was kind of thrown off because I thought that thing she shot in his back was gonna like take his powers, but shoot at the end you saw where he like still had the morphing ability or something. So his body must be able to adapt to that and probably fight that the effects of that. Or they're very temporary. Temporary. So
Right.
he's going to be he's going to be a very hard person to deal with if he has all those powers.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking along the lines of how you were thinking because I was thinking, well, it's either that whatever she shot him with, it temporarily disabled him, and it's one of those things like you would have to kill him in that tiny open window that you
Yeah,
have, otherwise it's not going to
I
matter.
don't think you can kill that sucker because okay, he had like something that would control. He had microwaves. He had something that could some kind of shield. He had some kind of like make you heavier, like control of gravity.
Right.
Then at the end, he was morphing. So he already it kind of like he stole Thunder's girlfriend's power or something. That what it seemed like to me.
Right. Now see, now that when Lynn when she shot him and then he looked shocked and then Black Lightning laid him out and he was gonna save him and then Lynn was like, no, leave him because if he's alive, it
Mm-hmm.
jeopardizes the rest of us. I think in that short little window, that was the only time that you can kill him because when they left and the building collapsed, for all we know, that dude maybe takes 30 seconds or something to recover.
Mm-hmm.
You always got to look for that window. So I think that it is possible to kill him, but if you don't do it right away, then you're not going to be able to do it again
I,
necessarily.
I can tell you one thing: if him and Tobias ever team up, that is going to be a hell of a problem.
Yeah, I agree. Now the thing, see, with the ending of it, like how you said when Gravedigger, we see that he still, had his morphing abilities and he kind of walked off and he looked like he was thinking about something. So I'm thinking that he's probably going to implement some other plans, but right now would be like he's kind of at a low point, so he would have to regroup. Like he's one of those villains where I feel like he regroups and then he comes back even stronger the next time.
Mm-hmm.
So if that means that he's going to do something with Tobias, I'm like, okay, well, Tobias wants to, as we saw and heard him say, that he wants to, take back Freeland. That's his stuff, and he's gonna do what he can to try to move in on Lala and anyone else who's in his way. So because Tobias he wants to be the top of the crop, I feel like if at all any sort of team up happens between him and Gravedigger, they're gonna butt heads first before any sort of alliance is formed.
And then he be a fool. Tobias is very duplicitous. He'll
Mm,
tell him what he want to hear, whatever. He has only person I see him loyal to was his sister, and after she died, he's loyal to no one. So
right.
I thought this was a very good episode. I thought the court scene was a little bit. They didn't really have to do that. That was just more like filler. But one thing it did show me, I think that he might have heard Black Lightning want to save him because he seemed pleased with the decision that the court people made at the end. He didn't
That's
try to
right.
fight him or anything. So I think he knows that Black Lightning would do right by him, but he's just so focused on what his mission is and how he feels that yeah, we family and it's cool you didn't kill me or whatever, but I still am gonna do what I'm gonna do the same way you gotta do what you gotta do.
That is very fair, but like while that could very well be the case 100%, I would like to think that what if it's the other side? Like, because even though Black Lightning didn't like outright kill him, if you leave someone in a building that's gonna explode, that's kind of like you might as well kill him, right? Because you didn't save him. You made a decision to leave him there. So
I think he saw and heard the argument. What I'm saying that Black Lightning wanted to save him, but okay, is it? Am I going to save my great uncle, or I'm going to save my wife and my daughters? That's kind of
that
like a
yeah, that's fair. He probably did hear that argument, but the thing is, we've seen many times, whether it be in these films, shows, or even in the comics, where someone can say something, but you still have your own choice to make.
yeah,
Because it's like, I'm thinking like, why? Even though Lynn said something, Black Lightning could have been like, no, and then he could have still picked him up and flew away,
yeah.
and she would have been mad, of course, but he could have made that decision. So I'm thinking maybe it could be that Gravedigger was probably like, oh man, like he left me to die. I'm gonna mess him up, really mess him up. Now that family don't matter. But then maybe when, like you said, with the court decision, maybe he was like, oh man, like I gotta go back to my family.
Hello, hello. All right, Terrance went out again. Terrance, if you hear me, you went out. I can't hear you. Can you hear me, Terrance? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Well, he went out again, but he'll come back on. But basically, I think Black Lightning, this season, this episode was really really good. If you haven't seen it, please stream uh, and get Black Lightning season. I think this is season 3, outstanding season. And like I said, the finale was excellent. Gravedigger is played by Wayne Brady. Um, he's a metahuman. He's the first metahuman that came from way back like 100 years ago, and he has super strength. Okay, we're gonna try it again. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me, Terrance? Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Hello, hello, Terrance. But Gravedigger has superpowers. He has super strength, fighting skills, um, super reflexes. He is one bad sucker.
Yeah, can you hear
Hello,
me?
Terrence. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Now I
Can you
can.
hear me? Okay.
Hey, you
Uh.
see me do this right here? That mean I can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah. No, I got
Yeah,
you. It's because I'm outside and like there's like glare on the phone, so sometimes I don't be knowing when I get
I
cut
got you.
off and shit. But yeah, I was saying that in terms of that court situation, what if it was like because Black Lightning left him there, he was gonna do something, but then after that court situation, what if that like tweaked his opinion again, like because he was satisfied with the outcome?
Yeah, I mean it could be. We don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know who the writers of Black Lightning, but I think they're doing an outstanding job. I love the music, the way they shoot the stuff. Um, Nothing really seems fake to me, looking fake, except like the flying scenes, and then sometimes the flying scenes are on point too. So whoever
Right.
is doing the camera work, who's ever doing the writing, I have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah,
Nothing.
yeah, yeah. Because usually like the power sequences or the flying, those tend to be the most expensive things, in terms of the effects. So depending on how much money they've spent throughout the season, they have to find a way to do that. So I don't really fault them for that. Like as long as the storytelling is good,
Yeah,
then that's to me that's the most important thing. Because imagine you got a show that looks good, but everything else is terrible. Like I
yeah,
wouldn't trade that for the world.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I think Lynn, she's gonna have powers too. because she's
Yeah,
steady taking that green light and she's steady adding that stuff. You don't know what kind of power she's adding. So before long, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if she be the next meta or whatever. And now
and,
the fact that the other
yeah.
doctor is killed, she,
I was so happy about that,
yeah,
Danny. What about you? I was like, good.
I
I'm
was
getting
too.
tired of her.
Yeah, she stayed about 5 episodes too long. I want them to
Hmm.
kill Odell last. I don't like Odell neither. Hey,
Right,
Perk's about to join me. I'm about to put him on.
man. Like that's
You're
just one
Hey,
of those things.
what's up, Mr. Perk?
what up? What up? What's good, Terrance? What's good, Danny?
What's up, Herb?
Chilling,
Um,
chilling.
but I also, what'd you think about the painkiller sequence?
Oh, yeah. When Khalil when he went up against Painkiller.
Yeah, he's able to get back in control now.
Oh yeah, yeah. I thought that was cool because that shows us that there's always going to be that struggle, and whatever happens with Khalil, because I really like the Painkiller character because he's not as hesitant as Khalil is, but Khalil is interesting enough to where if they end up swapping him out, I'm cool by both of them for different reasons, and I feel like it should be a situational thing, like whoever is best suited for that situation
Yeah, kind
or
of like
that
how they
particular
do
story arc.
Killer Frost and the other girl. Can't think of her name.
Caitlyn, yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
kind of like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So like
Perk, we about,
yeah, I enjoyed all that, Danny, with the Khalil and Painkiller stuff.
yeah.
You said what, Danny?
I said we about to go to the Black Widow conversation. You say you
Excellent.
want to join us in? We're gonna
Excellent.
go next to the Black Widow, the final trailer. I'm not even sure when this movie comes out. It may be pushed back now since coronavirus seems to be taking over. Um, but I am a little bit more excited. I did a poll last week, and most people said, "Yeah, are you more excited after seeing the final trailer?" I think most of my people on the poll said they were definitely more excited. I think 20% said they didn't care one way or the other. But after seeing it, I think it's going to be pretty good. I'm not sure whether it's still going to outdo Wonder Woman 84, but I am hoping and get my fingers crossed that Kevin Feige going to have some kind of twist that may have an effect on what we saw in Endgame. So, what do you think, Perp?
Um, None of the trailers has blown me away. I just feel like it. To me, it feels like the typical Marvel movie. Like they run in with the same formula. Formula. Nothing in the trailer just wowed me or say like, oh, I gotta see this immediately. Like I'm not gonna try to compare it to the Wonder Woman trailer, but like even in that, just seeing Wonder Woman like uh was it like kind of web sling, use her lasso whatever to swing off lightning. I was like, yeah, I got to see that. Like, but
Yeah,
nothing. I'm still gonna go see Black Widow, but you know, nothing in that final trailer really wowed me. Not even Taskmaster like really like interests me because he's just literally the embodiment of what Marvel's been doing. Like just oh, we have to fight the evil version of this of the hero type thing. But you know, it could still be a good movie. But I think I don't know. It's just for me. I think it's going to be that average Marvel movie. But that's just my opinion.
I got you. What do you think on that, Terrence?
Um, well, my perspective, just really loving Marvel from the comics and everything, and I've been with the MCU since it started, and it's like I appreciate the whole shared universe thing, but the MCU movies, they are very formulaic in their approach, which means that they can rarely do anything. Like for me personally, they can rarely do anything to surprise me, and I believe that includes Black Widow. But like each trailer though, I very much enjoyed, and I had this kind of attitude, like what, about time. She should have had her movie back in phase one, like when they was doing Iron Man 2 and all that. She should have had her movie way back then. And we should be talking about a second or even a third Black Widow movie. So the fact that,
Mm.
Captain Marvel got a movie which nobody asked for, and Black Widow's movie coming out after that, that kind of irritates me. But
I
I
knew,
am,
I knew you was gonna make that jab.
yeah, oh, absolutely, man. Cause I'm like, yo, like, what about Black Widow? I'm like, why would you why do you need to put Captain Marvel here? Oh well, because no, because of nothing. Because nobody asked for that, Mister
And,
Feige.
Okay, but let
and
me.
Terrence, you can make a good point about that. I think that's the reason why I'm not really excited to even see this movie, even though I know I'm going to go see it. Is that like we should have been got this like years ago?
But we
Yeah,
all agree that Kevin
Mm.
Feige knows what he's doing with Marvel, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
he yeah,
Okay.
I
yeah, he
Now
does.
let me do a follow up.
okay.
How about if he's planning this? I don't think he seems to be a student of Marvel and the comic books. I don't think he would make this misstep. I don't think he would go back round just to appease whoever with this movie without. I think it's going to be something that's going to when we leave that theater watching Black Widow, it's going to do something to fuck up Endgame. I get that feeling, and it's going to make us feel
Mm.
like, what the hell just
Oh,
happened?
okay,
You
okay.
know, but before you get to your point, Terrace, I would like to throw this in. I think I would have been more excited for this movie if Joss Whedon was directing this movie, because nobody knows who this director is that's directing Black Widow. Like I looked up her credits, it's nothing really like special, nothing. But like I think if Joss Whedon was attached to this, like I think a lot more people would be hyped for this movie, even though like that hype is still there. But I think people, the excitement would be that oh, Joss Whedon's coming back to direct Black Widow and stuff, and because I feel like he knows how to direct her character and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. Before I get to my point, I'm gonna address what Perp said about Josh Whedon because if I were Kevin Feige, Josh Whedon would be on the list of choices because I'm like, this is the dude that did Avengers. This is the dude that did the Buffy stuff. So he knows how to direct.
Female characters too.
You're on mute, Terrence. If you can hear me,
Probably
your
muting
phone's on
himself.
your phone's on mute. He been having issues with his phone all day.
You got to just stay on the page what you're on with like whether that be the Twitter link or I
But
don't even
anyway,
know.
uh, I just think that I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I'm thinking that Kevin Feige got something up his sleeve. I don't know what it is, but I think that he definitely. And I think I read that somewhere or heard it somewhere, and maybe in chatter, but it makes no sense for him to do all he did, then go back and just do a Black Widow movie just to appease Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
because
that.
it does seem weird because like this is the movie to kick off Phase Four. Like I would have been okay with Spider-Man still being in that movie to kick off Phase Four and then go into Black Widow and you get more of the grounded stuff. So there has to be there definitely has to be something there,
Yeah,
you know. But I think what they're gonna do, which will be kind of effed up, is if the big surprise is the post credit scene or something like that that teases something. I think that'd be kind of cheap though.
yeah. You back,
It has
Terrence? Terrence, Terrence, can you hear me? This
blink
man be
once for yes, blink twice for no.
that. Well, like I said, are you watching Clone Wars? We'll come back to.
Nah, I haven't got into that series yet.
Okay. Well, I'm watching Clone Wars.
Um,
Go ahead.
can you guys hear me?
Now we can.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, shit. What the hell was I saying? So yeah, like
You
I was
saying about
addressing.
George Pete?
Yeah, like he's really good with badass female characters. So I think that he would have crushed it as Black Widow. Um, so I definitely think he would have been a better choice. But I haven't seen the movie, so like from the trailers, it looks cool. But it's like, look, I want to see Black Widow, I want to see the Red Room, and I want to see Taskmaster. I want to see what they do. But unless they do like some crazy stuff, it's not going to surprise me. Like it's going to be along the lines of what I expect. I expect to go to see it, and I'm gonna be cheering, and then I'm gonna move on and wait to the next Marvel movie. Like I'm not gonna feel like how I felt when I was watching like Joker or something like that. Like it ain't gonna just
mm.
really make me reflect on it. It's just going to be another conversation. I'm probably going to be like, Perp, Danny, I watched it. I thought it was cool. It's going to be very surface level responses to it, is what I think, because it's an MCU movie. So we're going to see it. Perp said he's going to see it. Danny and I'm going to see it. So I think because it is an MCU movie, it has the trust of the people. So no matter
Yeah.
what the character or who the director is, people trust the brand, Marvel Studios. So like that's why I'd be making the jokes about you can make Marvel Studios toilet paper and people are going to show up because it's part of the brand. And it's like
Yeah.
it's guaranteed to make some money. It's just really a question of how much, but it's going to be fine. We don't have to. I highly doubt we're going to be having conversations about people hating the
And
movie or flopping or something like that.
yeah, the money part is not going to be an issue, especially if they stay in that spot. And with Fast 9 moving completely out of that spot, I think that helps out Wonder Woman and Black Widow at the same time, because that movie was going to eat up a little bit of both their monies and whatnot. But
Exactly. And
do,
and
do,
and
do you
honestly, the
think?
only reason I could see it flopping perp is if I don't know, let's just say the coronavirus gets worse. That would be the only reason that happens. I'm like, if that shit wasn't
Yeah,
part of the equation, man, Black Widow will be fine.
I was hearing
now you
that they might try and stream it like you do movies, like you do pay per
don't.
views.
Yeah, we was talking this on we was talking about this on Zod's channel, how like they could possibly have an option on Disney Plus that like you could either like pay an X amount of money to get access to this movie for like a limited time or something like that.
I would do
If you
that.
want to pay like if you want to pay like $20 to watch this movie right now, then
Well, what they would do if shoot, I'd pay usually about what 3 to 4 Marvel movies come out a year.
Yeah,
hmm
roughly. Yeah.
I'd pay $55, $60 fee for like a Marvel package
true,
and,
true.
and watch at the
So
convenience, watching the convenience of my home instead of going to the theater. I'd pay
so
that.
if like Disney Plus had that option to just like for a one time only, like you pay $20, you got like to watch it again, you got to obviously pay another $20 and whatnot. But
Oh, okay.
would you pay
Like
that?
that. Like all that sounds great though, but here's the reason why I think they're not going to do that. Because if they were going to do that, why has movies like Mulan and other Disney related movies been put on hold due to the coronavirus? They haven't even presented us with that option. Someone might be like,
I,
well, the Marvel movies are bigger, but I'm like, but it's still Disney. And it's like, when I went to the theater to see Bloodshot a second time, the theater was empty. And it was a ghost town. It was like me, my friend, and then maybe like 15 humans spread out. But I mean, everything was empty. And I was just like, yo, you got these humans running around here, that's scared and shit of the coronavirus. And I'm like, yo, you are more at risk going to Albertsons and to Walmart than I am going to the movies. You know why? Because there was nobody at the fucking movies. There's nobody
but
there.
to be fair about that though, nobody cleans those seats though, so you don't know what kind of germs is on them seats and
That
shit.
that that's very true. But see, here's the thing though. You don't know what who's cleaning what from nowhere. You don't know. They could
You're
say
right.
Yeah,
that they're cleaning it, but what if after they cleaned it, some motherfucker coughed on it? There you
yeah.
go. It can happen that fast.
We were just talking. How many people touch the gas pumps? Man, you can't
Yeah.
even tell me that. It's crazy. You're not going to be able to isolate yourself from this. So I mean, it's just
Humans are
I,
being
I
ridiculous. I'm like that shit. They said that shit lives for weeks on surfaces. Like I'm like, come on.
I thought this would be a crazy idea, but this probably would be bad for them financially. But what if they just took all the comic book movies that like and then just pushed them to 2021? So we still get the Batman, we get the Wonder Woman, we get like Black Widow, the Eternals, Spider
that
Man.
wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Yeah,
There ain't no way we can watch all that one year.
Man,
yeah.
That
Unless if
that
they have like a comic movie every month, like
that would be Marvel or DC fatigue if they do that.
man, let me tell you something. That when I heard about Fast Nine, this is from my perspective. Like you're talking about when they had a concert. This was like over a month ago. They had a Fast and Furious concert. Like all the artists that did songs throughout the franchise, they were all performing. It was this massive crowd, and that was going to be the debut of that trailer. So I was watching that, and I told my friend, "Be ready, because we about to get these IMAX tickets, right?" So the lady was, interviewing people in the crowd, like, who's your favorite character? What's your favorite fast movie? What's your favorite moment in the franchise? That kind of stuff. And then she was like, the tickets are on sale now. I purchased my fucking IMAX tickets within 5 minutes of when she said that. And that was like about 15 minutes before the actual trailer dropped. So I had already had my ticket for that. And that's the only movie where I purchased a ticket before I saw a trailer. And then these humans are just like, well, due to the coronavirus, it's postponed to 2021. Man, I damn near got in the car and wanted to drive it through any random house or building I could see. I was so fucking irritated. I'm like, man.
Did you get a refund, or did they tell you like? Uh,
They should give you a rain check, shouldn't they?
Yeah, they should, but like at the time when we were checking, it was just nothing. It was like doing this whole like check back soon kind of shit. So I'm thinking when it gets around the time when humans calm down and all that kind of stuff, then maybe it'll be like we have to show the proof of purchase. Like, hey, look, over a year ago, IMAX tickets this date, and you show them. And I don't want to hear nothing about, sir, you had a window when you were supposed to come. I'm like, if you don't give me the same seat in IMAX that I got, I promise you, your last concern is going to be the coronavirus. I promise you. Like, I ain't going to be fucking around with that. I'm going to be mad as hell. I'm like, no, I need to see why Han is alive. You're not going to fuck me over with this. I had to wait a damn year because of this virus. Now give me my fucking IMAX tickets. I'm going to be mad as hell.
They're going to get security on you.
They can call him. Like, I'll be like fucking John Cena's character. I'm gonna take them all out. I ain't playing with that shit. Like, you don't mess around with my movies.
Like, I rate Negro on aisle 5. I rate Negro aisle 5.
And I'll be like, yep. And then they gonna send 5 of them. I'll be like, that's all you got? Shit. Anybody else?
Be like,
are you sure
he's black?
Yeah, like you Perp and Danny, like, you guys gonna be watching the news. Like, damn, I know that dude right there. I'm like, yep.
There you go. That damn.
You guys gonna be doing a reaction to me and shit.
I'll be like, free Terrance.
We wear a free Terrance t-shirt.
but nah, like seriously though, like, once they tell us about another release date and stuff like that, then at that point I think it'll be easier, because within after the trailer dropped, all that theater room where we got our tickets, it was completely full because people were on them tickets. So this is like over a month later, so I know even more people have purchased their tickets. So they're all wondering the same thing as me and so many other people. What do we do for those of us that already purchased our tickets for movies that are not coming out yet and that have been postponed due to the coronavirus?
Yeah, I think like movies that are coming out in the summer, like June to like August, I think they're going to be all right. And like, I don't think
I hope this will have a domino effect and push Mortal Kombat out of January. I'm scared of January for Mortal Kombat. I want that movie to be awesome.
Man,
I don't want that movie to be awesome.
You're right, Danny, but here's the messed up part in all this. I thought of this like when they had mentioned that New Mutants was being pushed back a year. I was like, Danny, the problem with this movie is that it should have been out 10 years ago. The New Mutants, 10 years. This movie has had like 20,000 different directors. It has been rewritten and reshot over and over. By the time this movie comes out, the actors are not even going to look the same at this point.
I can tell you, because I haven't read the New Mutants comic books, I don't know. I really don't know anything about them. They're not even a blip on my radar. Just like I'm trying to see. Well, I already read somewhere that this is going to push back Shang-Chi. I think it's going to have something to do with the Eternals. So I don't know how far this ripple effect is going to touch.
But I don't understand why they wouldn't just throw that on Disney Plus. Like, it's
that's what I would do.
I at this point I wouldn't mind, because it went from me being excited, right? And then I kind of fell out of it only because it was taking so long. And then when they for sure was like, okay, for sure, April 3rd, Kevin Feige allowed them to release it in theaters. I was like, cool, April 3rd. And then all of a sudden there's a fucking virus. And I'm like, man, this movie is cursed, man. Like, because see, at least with the newer movies, it's just like it's kind of going with the times. The New Mutants has been struggling since I was born. Like, it don't make no damn sense.
That's the same thing with He-Man. I don't know how many times I've got my hopes up, and
it's definitely gonna happen. Like
And
that
last
He Man movie. The
the
He Man
last
movie
time
was
they had
epic.
a Hispanic guy playing it, how the hell you get and I ain't against race bending and gender swap. I'm not against that. I really am not. But to put a Hispanic in for He Man, it does not make any sense to me. I don't understand that.
See, like it, like whenever I'm in the, like I imagine myself in those offices when they're conducting these businesses and they're like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do." I'm like, "Look, sir, I think this is a mistake." Oh, so you don't think this could work? Maybe, but I
No.
don't like maybe. Why
Hell
not
no.
just we should
I can,
do what the fans want? How about that? How
I,
about that?
there are always exceptions to the rule, but there is no exception to the rule that a Hispanic male can play a blonde hair, blue eye He Man. I mean, no alliteration of He Man that I've seen. There's been three different He Man shows, and it's always been. I don't see how they can make that. I really don't. I
It's,
I,
it's
I could
you
be
know it's gonna
wrong.
be for agenda, Danny. It's only for agenda in politics.
Okay, but
Most of the time,
some stuff work.
it
Some
does.
some
It
things work.
does.
Some stuff. I don't care what kind of gender you got. I don't care what kind of wokeness or whatever boat you own, whatever uh, you trying to get across. Sometimes it just ain't gonna work. You
That's
can't
right. But
you can't make
but
pepper salt. You can't make salt pepper. So I don't care how much you try to flip it or whatever, or season it up or doctor it up. It just ain't gonna happen.
that's true, Danny. But my thing is, whenever you do changes, you now have to prove to people that it can work. So you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage when you can avoid all that just by doing what you're supposed to do. Because I'm
No,
like,
but sometimes is okay. Prime example. We already had discussion before. There was no problem at all when Michael Clark Duncan played the Kingpin. That particular
yeah,
role didn't actually call for a burly white man. It is called for a burly man, charisma that fit the physical part. When you saw Michael Clark Duncan, you didn't skip a beat or say, "Damn, I wonder why the hell they did that." I didn't.
well. To be fair, as a kid, that was my first thought. Like, why is my boy black? But at the same time, there was a pass that was given because it was Michael Clark Duncan. Like, he has such a likability. I'm like,
Okay,
it's really hard for
I,
me to
I,
be upset at you.
I'll give you
Like,
that. But was a pass given for the lady that played the ancient one in Doctor Strange?
Yes, because there was outrage over that, and I was part of that because I was like, look, because this is when we just got the news because they just showed us a picture and they were just like, okay, she's gonna be the ancient one. I'm like, so you made the ancient one a female and white? Like, I was just like, no, no, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win me with this.
Okay,
Like, I
but
need to see
Correction.
something.
She
when you saw her, what'd you say? I might have been wrong.
No, 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 no. It wasn't until like when they showed her in the trailer that was the one thing that I was like, eh.
I
But
wanted to, I just wanted to correct you on it. They got a very white woman to play the ancient one. Like
yeah,
she's powdered
that's
white.
true. Yeah, she's as white as they come. But it was like when I went to see the movie, Danny. Right? It was me and five of my friends, and one of them was Asian, and he was just like, we all were in agreement. Like this is like one of the dumbest things that Marvel Studios has ever done. Right? And then I was the one that said, there is a small chance that when I watch this, she might be so good that I will be forgiving. And I have one condition. I'm like, because they have drastically changed the character, the only thing that's going to make me okay with this is if she's exactly the way the character is supposed to be despite the changes. And when I watched it, that's what happened. I'm like, okay, she is
Right.
acting like the ancient one, and that was what won me over was her performance. Because the rest of that shit, I was just like, ugh, here we
Yeah,
go again.
I
But
didn't. And Mordo is white in the comics.
no, 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 no. The ancient one is a Chinese.
No,
Is a
no,
Chinese.
I heard that. I said, but Mordo was black in the movies, correct?
He was.
In
That
the
was another change.
comic book, he's white.
Mm.
That
But
that's true.
I
That
didn't have
that's
no.
that.
I didn't have no problem with him.
And you know why that you know. Here's the thing with that. When they cast that actor, I remember he was in that movie Serenity, and he was
12,
working with
12 years a slave too. But
yeah, exactly. Like
let me make
it,
one quick point before you say that. Sometimes an actor can transcend a character.
D- that's true, Danny. But because you brought him up, I have to address his position because that was another thing. Like when I saw him in the trailer, and I was like, "Who is he supposed to be?" And then when they said his name, I have this thing, Danny. I'm not necessarily a purist. Like I can be open to things if I feel it makes sense or if it ends up working. But I just have this thing where if you have to say the character's name for me to know that that's the character, there's something about that irritates me. I'm like, I would have never known out of context. He just would have seemed to me like he's a black dude that does magic. I would have had no idea that he was mortal if you just showed me a picture. I wouldn't have made the connection. So, because of the talent of that actor, my position was okay, well, at least I don't have to worry about the acting. This dude is beast. He's a great actor, and honestly, he's very underused in my opinion for as he is. I just want to put that out there too.
Yeah.
But with him, there was like less irritation because at least he was still a guy. With the ancient one, it was a complete flip of the entire script. So that was even more so. So with him, it was just like okay, they did some race swapping, but he's a great actor. And my position was, let me see what he can do. In terms of that actress that played the ancient one, my only position was like, you better show me what. If you're on the screen for 5 minutes, that's all the time I need to just fucking miss you immediately because I know that character inside and out. I was like, you got 5 minutes to impress me, and then when she showed up, it was actually within 2 minutes when I was like, okay, this is definitely the ancient one because she had the same mannerisms and stuff. And I was like, I looked at my friends. I remember within 2 minutes, I looked over at them, looked to my right, my left, because they're on both sides of me. And we all kind of nodded at each other. We were like, all right, this is cool. This is definitely the best case scenario and something that we initially found distasteful.
Okay, and that goes back to my initial statement. Kevin Feige knew how Marvel fans are, how Marvel fans can be, and he okayed those two changes that would ruffle a little bit of feathers at first, but he saw the long picture. Same thing I think is going to happen with Black Widow.
That's fair, Danny. That's a great
It's
point.
ruffling feathers, and people are like, "Oh, Black Widow should have been done too." I think Kevin Feige knows what he's doing. Until he shows me that he is losing control or taking a misstep,
Uh,
he has not taken a misstep yet in 10 years that I've seen.
well, here's the thing, though. In terms of financially, he is not. All their movies are successful, but in terms of taking missteps, in terms of how they do certain characters and storylines, oh, he's fucked up quite a bit.
Okay, and that goes back to that one word I hate, canon. I've explained to you how canon works. Canon
It-
can only work if the person that originally did the intellectual property who owns it is dead.
it-
If somebody
okay,
else can buy that
but
puppy,
Danny, if you
okay.
but look here
Let me give
though,
you a prime
like
example.
when Captain Marvel came out,
Let's not even go Captain Marvel. Didn't you tell me, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Tobey Maguire is your favorite Spider-Man out of
no,
the
Tom
three?
Holland is my favorite
Tom
Spider-Man.
Holland.
No,
You like
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. You like Toby better than Andrew Garfield?
Um, okay, with the two of them, I tend to fluctuate based on a specific topic because it really is something to where I have to break them down because Andrew Garfield's Peter and Spider-Man was more in the personality of what I've read in the comics. So it's like Toby to me, he has the two best Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, in my opinion, is the best Spider-Man movie. But in terms of the live-action actors and films, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2 trumps everything in terms of storytelling. But when
Okay.
it comes to Spider-Man, I feel like Tom Holland has that. He has both Peter and he has both Spider-Man. So
I
that's what
guess.
I'm saying. Like Spider-Man 2 is a masterpiece. But the other Spider-Man movies, I can go, these are better Spider-Man movies. But how much does that matter when the storytelling is not necessarily as good, especially in the context of the MCU? The Spider-Man movies still fall within their formulaic approach.
Okay, you done talked so long, you done made me forget my damn question. Boy, I
You
tell you.
you 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 were talking about Black Widow, and you were saying that
No,
you were saying that you trust Kevin Feige,
I
and then
do.
I said Captain Marvel, and then you were gonna say something.
Shit. Okay, Spider Man. Get it back, Danny. Okay, you say you like Tom Holland better than Tom Holland's your best Spider Man, correct?
Yeah, like not just best Spider-Man, but best Peter as
Or
well.
your favorite one? Okay, and you say you lean more to being a purist fan versus being a fan that will just roll with whatever the director puts out there for us, correct?
No. I said that I'm not necessarily a purist. Like
No,
I'm
I'm asking.
flexible as long as it's
Okay,
mm,
you're flexible. Okay,
yeah,
how did you feel about? And you said that the better Spider Man was Spider Man 2, correct?
yes.
How did you feel the fact that they totally went all the way from what you ever read and gave Peter Parker and Spider Man organic webs in the first one versus what you read in the
Um,
book? And whenever he didn't feel good, he had to put his glasses back on and he lost his powers and all this kind of stuff. I've never read that in the book. In the comic
okay,
book.
so you're asking me how I felt about that? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Um, because I mean we did this briefly, but I want to explain it more because in the case of the Spider-Man having the organic webs, or in Spider-Man 2 when he lost his powers and then he was talking to Uncle Ben and he threw his suit in a trash can, the
Mhm.
reason why I thought that was great is because the storytelling was great. Like if you change stuff, I am only okay with it if you provide me with a great story. That is the one exception where that can convince me to forget about everything else, because I would rather you tell a great story than to do completely accurate and everything is bad. Like if all I can say is, "Oh man, he definitely looks like the character, Danny. He definitely looks like him." You see how I said that? There's nothing else that follows. That means the acting is shit, the effects are shit, the
So
writing
you
is bad, the
so
villain
you
sucks. There's no story.
so you like the organic web.
I was okay with it. It didn't bother me. Only because the storytelling was good. They made it work for that. That's why I gave it a pass. There has to be a specific reason.
Okay. But Captain Marvel was fantastic storytelling and you didn't like that.
Oh no, it was not, because like in terms it, it, it,
Woo!
it,
Man,
in terms of
I'm
Captain
fucking with
Marvel,
you, man.
I was like,
I'm lying. I'm fucking with you, man. I just that came across my mind to say
oh,
that. But
oh man,
serious
like
talk.
yeah.
I like Captain Marvel better than Shazam. Now I don't care what you say. I do not care what you say.
Nah,
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 And
nah, nah,
Shazam is whack.
no,
nah,
nah.
that's
Nah, see,
no,
no.
Uh,
no.
which one made the
I
most
saw,
money?
like, put it this way. That don't matter. That don't mean nothing. But um, I saw Captain Marvel twice for free. You know, I didn't pay not a damn like no type of money for it, and I was bored even the second time. Second time around, I passed out.
See, there you
How
go.
many how
If
many
I,
times how many times you watch Shazam?
I
ooh,
watched that like 3 times already.
and Danny
You
from
paid for it.
Now I paid once and then
Oh
watched it like bootlegged and stuff
man.
a few more times.
Y'all
So.
know good and well Shazam.
oh, okay, Danny. Like I've seen Shazam from, because there's times where I see scenes and then I'm talking about from beginning to end. I've seen Shazam about 7 times, and I own the movie on 4K and on Blu-ray. So in terms of Shazam, I'll tell you this: when I saw the trailer for Shazam, I was excited. When I watched the movie, all kinds of comic book material popped up in my head. And when they did that whole Shazam family at the end, I was like, man, my friend will tell you, he
Hey,
was next to me and I damn near snapped his neck. I was grabbing him out of excitement. I was like, they're not going to do that. They're not,
hey,
oh shit, they're going to do it. And then when they transformed, I was so happy because I didn't think they were going to do that into the sequel, right? So they did what I wanted to and more, and they managed to surprise me. And
and
when I
you had
watched Captain Marvel, what was that, Bert?
no say you had dudes getting their heads bit off and kicked out windows and stuff. I was like, yo, you'll never get this in a
That
Marvel
was the
movie.
only
Oh,
good part when Dr. Savannah went there and was doing all now that was
He wanted all the smoke.
Look, man.
And see, I'm glad you brought up that scene, Perp, because I was definitely gonna get to that, Perp. When Savannah went into that office, he killed his brother, he killed his father, he killed everyone in that room. That scene alone eclipses the entire Captain Marvel movie because nothing happens in Captain Marvel. Her villain was
It-
defeated in one
That ain't
shot.
her.
One
That ain't
shot.
her. That ain't her fault. That is not her fault.
How? But we're talking about the characters. Not. I'm
I'm
not talking
saying.
about the actors.
I'm saying because the story is sorry. I mean, you can't blame it on that. Apparently, somebody thought it was good because it made over $1 billion. Somebody
Okay,
thought
but
it was
here's the
good.
thing, Danny. But Danny, this goes back to what I was just saying. It's a Marvel movie. It's an MCU movie at that. It's gonna make money. At this
All
point,
AMC movies don't
for
make
us
a
to
billion
have a
it,
dollars.
conversation. No, no, no. I'm not saying that they all do. They're not every single MCU movie hasn't made $1 billion. The first Thor didn't make $1 billion. The
If you
second
want
one, both the
if
Ant-Man movie. There's plenty of
if you want
MCU
to say
movies.
that, just about any comic book movie is going to make at least 700, 800,000 dollars or above, just because it's a comic book movie now. And that's the hottest thing smoking. That's not a true statement.
now
No, 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 no,
I'll
no,
say
no,
I'll
no.
say that.
Again,
I,
no, 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 no,
I,
no. Again, it's the MCU. Like
I'm saying they ain't
like
got
I'm
the
talking about
MCU.
the MCU.
The only comic book movie that didn't make in that price range, and correct me if I'm wrong, was Brightburn. That because Brightburn people did not advertise it like they should have. If they would have
But it's
advertised it.
not a comic book movie though. Brightburn is not a comic book movie.
and the only reason why
Brightburn
that
is a horror movie that
It's
stole
based,
stuff from Superman.
yeah, but I'm saying
the
it's based on what if Superman was bad. That's where they should have pushed it. If
It,
they would have pushed that angle, that kind of teeter totters
if
on comic book, just like the
But
Joker.
if they did that, they would have got sued. If they would have got sued by Warner Brothers, there's a reason why they were okay because even though they stole from Superman, they were still on the lines of making sure they didn't say or do specific things. There were no real Superman references outside of visuals because they would have got sued. There's a reason why they didn't push it as a Superman movie, but everyone can see that that's what they were doing. But I already knew that Brightburn wasn't going to make a lot of money because that's only going to appeal to a certain number of people.
and the only reason why Captain Marvel made the movie the money that it did is because it was in between Endgame and Infinity War. If it was outside of that, it would have made $1 billion.
But that's on
No,
Kevin.
definitely not.
That's
And also like look at the brilliance of Kevin Feige though. You're talking about
you do
this
that.
dude said that he said number one you had to see it. Number two he said she is the most powerful character, which is a fucking lie on every single level. I don't even have time to go through them all. And then he said you got to check this out before Endgame. I watched that fucking movie and it had jack shit to do with Endgame. I could have skipped
It
that
really
shit
didn't.
and I still would have been fine. I still would have been fine. And her character didn't do anything in that movie except show
And,
up and save Tony. Anybody could have did that shit, and then she blew up a couple planes and got punched out of the movie.
and one thing a Marvel movie can't be is boring. And that movie was completely boring. Like that. Like I was trying to get like I was trying to put all the Brie Larson stuff aside. I was like, you know what? She's done for coming out and just saying all this shit before the movie comes out. I'm just gonna give it a chance. You know, I even gave the movie a 7, but then the more I kept thinking about it, I was like, the rating kept going down, so I have it at like a 6. So and then when I went to go see it a second time, I was like, yeah, this is like a 4 or a 5 right now. So it doesn't have any
Yeah, because
rewatchability.
that's right. And here's the thing though, like what I was gonna say with Captain Marvel. I saw the trailer for that, and I was excited.
Mm.
I had my Captain Marvel pajamas on and everything. I was ready to go see that movie because of everything that was in it. It wasn't until I watched it when I was like, I didn't enjoy it. I was like, look, you didn't do shit right in that movie. I'm like, number one, Captain Marvel
Mm.
has some of the most boring fucking comic books I've ever read in my life. So I'm like, I went to see that movie. I went to see that movie.
I can name 5 superhero movies I just wrote down right now that is worse than Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of them. There's like probably if I'm gonna be honest, Danny, there's probably like 20 comic book movies that are worse than that. But I'm talking about as an MCU
Really?
movie when you compare it to the rest, it didn't give you anything. Like it if you're someone that knows those characters, right? There's that perspective. I'm like, you didn't do Nick Fury right, you didn't do Coulson right, you didn't do the Scrolls right, you didn't do Monica Rambeau right, you didn't do Ronan the Accuser right, you didn't do the Kree Supreme Intelligence, you didn't even do Marvel. They turned Marvel into an old white lady, Danny, and then they killed her off. They didn't even do that badass character justice that's supposed to train Captain Marvel. There was none of that. It
One
just was a
billion
movie.
dollars. $1 billion.
But yes, Danny, me and Perp are not denying the money. It's
I,
gonna make
I'm just
money
saying,
because it's an
I know what you're
MCU
saying.
movie.
No, not
there's
necessarily.
plenty.
I'm just saying that's what they're looking at. They're not looking at you. You brought up very valid points. I can't dispute any of those points you just made. But then at the end of the day, like I'm telling Star Wars fan, Disney may put Kathleen Kennedy out there to be the sacrificial lamb, but under her time, Disney Star Wars movies have been profitable. You may think
Y-
that
y-
you may
Yeah,
think that Captain Marvel stank it up and Pert went to sleep on it 4 or 5 times. That's all well and good. That's fine. But at the end of the day, that little puppy made $1 billion. So whatever you say in there now, they don't care.
and,
you're
and
you're
that
right
and
though. But I would
that's an issue though too, because look at the Transformers movies; those made $1 billion, and those were terrible movies. So they think
exactly
that,
outside
hey,
of the first one in Bumblebee.
we could put like this half-ass product out, and people will still eat it up, and it'll make $1 billion. That's an issue.
Exactly. Yeah,
The last,
That's an
exactly.
issue.
That is
you
exactly
sure
right,
the last
Perp.
Transformers made $1 billion? The
No, no,
last
no,
one,
no,
Yeah,
no, no.
like
The last one was the one before Bumblebee. That shit was a failure.
the last night, I don't think that
Yeah,
made $1
that
billion.
no, that no. But I mean, he. I
I
think
know what he's
Purpose
saying.
is talking about the
I
early
know what
one.
he's saying.
yeah.
But to be honest though, Captain Marvel, you're talking about number one. It's an MCU movie. It's the first female-led MCU movie. Kevin Feige says she's the most powerful. You have a lot of obvious reasons as to why that movie did well. So from a business standpoint, it's a home run. But in terms of an installment in the MCU for what it did for the universe or that character, it did jack shit. There was no character growth or no development because she didn't went through anything. The worst problem she had to deal with was, oh, my memories are gone. I'm like, bitch, that's all you got to worry about. I'm like,
I
Superman is,
I
is
hate.
is infinitely more powerful than she is, but even he gets hit by a car from time to time. Nothing happened to her
Terrence,
Yeah,
because
I hate those
it sounds
amnesia
like
storylines.
you had a lot of haterade with your nutrients today. So
it, Danny, Danny, I'll be honest. Look, I don't even hate Captain Marvel. I own the Blu-ray.
it sounds like you do.
Danny, I own the Blu-ray, but you know me, I'm not going to be biased. I'm just going to say the stuff that a lot of people are not going to say because remember, like I'm
Uh-huh.
a huge Marvel fan. You know what I'm saying? Like I own the Blu-ray, Danny. I own every single MCU movie, Captain Marvel included. In fact, that was in the picture that
I
I
think
sent you.
you,
That was one of the
but
movies that I purchased.
that's because you collect that stuff. It ain't because you like it. It's apparent that you don't like it, but you just
Yeah,
Danny,
Terrence.
you know what I gave? You know what I gave that movie? I think I gave that movie a 7. So as a movie, it's fine. It's all right. I'm not saying like it's the worst movie ever. I'm just merely pointing out the flaws and mistakes within that movie because that's what a person does when they're thinking outside of their fandom. Because if I were going to be unfair, like a lot of these humans that don't even know what a comic book is, they're just going to be like, it's the greatest thing ever because it's an MCU movie. I'm like, you sure that that's fair to say that? Because if it were anything else, would you still feel like that? So I tend to challenge these types of humans. But again, my position is only me pointing out stuff that I see outside of my fandom because I wanted to like it. I went on the first day to see it because I like badass female characters. You know this,
Hey,
Danny. If it's a badass woman, I'm there.
Terrence, be honest. You have that Captain Marvel Blu-ray for a coaster.
You know what? I haven't used it for that yet. But look, like seriously, if I were up on that stage and Kevin Feige was like, Terrence, do you hate this character? I say no, I never liked the character. Like I never liked their comics. They were horrible. But I was willing to give it a chance because I was like, look, I like the MCU. They're far from perfect, but people love it a lot. People that don't read comic books, I get that. And I still went on the first day. I tell Kevin Feige, I went on the first day and I tell him the
Same.
same shit that I told you guys that it was because of everything but Captain Marvel. I was hoping that the movie would have something to make me like her character to
And,
where I can say, you know what, this is actually better than the comic books I did. This is the one
and
example where you elevated this character. You did not.
and you gotta look at the past characters that they built up, like compared to like a Captain America and what they did with Iron Man. Minus like Iron Man 2 and 3, I didn't really like those movies, but just with how they established these characters, and then out of nowhere you just shoehorn in this character. It's just like it definitely felt forced.
Oh yeah.
Whereas if they were to put Black Widow in that spot and then introduce Captain Marvel as your Phase 4 like kickoff, then I think it would have been, you know,
Mm-hmm.
probably
Mm-hmm.
received differently.
And I would have put the hand on Kevin Feige's shoulder. I'm like, look, man, we all know this is forced, awkward, and desperate. You only put this movie out there because DC killed it with Wonder Woman, and you're like, uh-oh, we can no longer be afraid to do female heroes. Let's just push out Captain Marvel. I'm like, sir, but you have Black Widow. How come she doesn't have no one cares about that, Terrence? But Captain Marvel, people will love her. I'm like, but they will also love Black Widow because she's been there since like Phase 1 and she hasn't had a movie yet. I'm just saying, sir, you do what you're gonna do, but this is kind of a little bit silly to me, especially with this story that you put out on this desk. Sir. Nope.
I think next I'm going to go to what the chat, then we'll jump back into another topic. Just kind of catch up on what they're saying. My man Jason Miller, he always comes in. I mean, he look like Cat Williams. How about y'all? I mean, what up, guys? We're looking forward to the stream. Thank you, sir. We appreciate your support. Jason is always on every stream we do on Sundays. We thank you very much. Mad said, "Hey guys, what's up?"
Hey, what's up, man?
D. Scott says, "What is up, fellas? How you guys holding up with this virus? Man, this virus is crazy. I went to.
I just say some Chinese food. So
Man, I'm telling you, man. I know it's full of BS, but man, I won't go to a Chinese food restaurant now, man.
I was starving today, so I was like, "F it."
I'm like,
what if that's the cure? What for that? That's the cure right there. Eating Chinese
food.
food.
I eat the hell out of it.
But Jason, let me tell you this, Jason. My parents are scared as hell. My dad going out there like, look, we got enough food in my house to last for the next 10 years. That's how much food we have in this fucking house.
You got the shelter in the backyard too.
Goods, all the frozen stuff. We got it all, right? Like shit. We got some shit in the garage, like, because in the garage you got my mom's car and you got like my weights and plates and shit over there where I work out. But I'm like, we got toilet paper and water. My dad coming in with a mask, like, son, it's dangerous out there in them streets. You can't be traveling around. I'm like, didn't you just go to the fucking store where there's a lot of humans there? I'm like, are you kidding me? Because he was just like, son, you didn't went to the movies. You could have killed us all and bringing back the disease. I'm like, Dad, there was 15 fucking humans in that entire theater. You went to a store that had 200 some odd humans. You said you could barely move. And then he said there was an Asian lady behind him that coughed. I love Asian people, but I'm just saying, like, the shit that he explained to me, the shit that he explained to me was far worse than me going to a theater that was fucking empty. I'm just saying.
Your parents move around that store like the Matrix board. No.
My dad was trying to, but apparently there was an enemy at every turn. He had to fight to get the last box of toothpaste. I'm like, you a silly person. Like, come on, man, stop it.
Hey, Perp, where state you from, bro?
I'm in Jersey. It's crazy out here too. Like people like my pops was telling me like he usually shops at BJ's and he was telling me it was like Black Friday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like just people.
You from Jersey, Terrance from California. I'm from South Carolina. But do you have y'all have Costco and Sam's? Where y'all at?
Yeah, they're in different areas though. They're not like
I went to two Sam's. I went to Sam's Friday night. There was no water, no toilet paper, no paper towel. The only water left was like Fiji water and Smart water. My wife said, "Well, how much it cost?" I FaceTime her. I said, "It's $20 a case." She said, "Hell no, we'll boil the water or whatever."
We got a refrigerator that got that filter water and shit. So I'm like, look, man, we'll be fine. But they just freaking out and shit. My dad's like, you can't go to the movies. You could have died. I'm like, I went to see Bloodshot. I'm still alive. But it can manifest in 2 weeks. Then I guess I'll be dead as fuck.
Hello? Can you hear
no,
me?
you
Can
cut
you hear
out.
me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Yeah.
Toilet
I went to
Yeah.
paper
Sam's
dead.
Club, man.
They
No water.
kill that shit.
Terrance.
It's gonna turn into the Walking Dead.
Wait,
Can you hear
Terrence,
me,
you botting
Terrence?
out.
You in and out,
You can hear me
Terrence.
right there?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Uh,
I
Yeah,
think
can you
something
hear
wrong
me?
with StreamYard.
yeah, I can
Now I
hear you.
can.
Okay, yeah, no, I was saying that, humans gonna kill each other over this toilet paper is gonna turn into the Walking Dead real quick. It's already a zombie apocalypse as it is.
But I'm trying to figure out what is the correlation between toilet paper and this virus. It ain't making no sense.
Well,
People
honestly,
just making sure they can wipe their
well, it's not just,
ass.
but see, Danny, it's like you got the toilet paper, water. It's also food as well. Because my dad's like, yeah, there wasn't a lot of this and a lot of that. I'm like, I'm not denying that because I wasn't there, but at the same time, humans they panic. That's what they do, and they wonder why the government doesn't tell them shit. It's like because they can't handle anything. As soon as they give them the tiniest bit of information, oh my god, they start crashing cars and blowing shit up. I'm like, man, these humans are ridiculous. And they trying to get
Like
me all
imagine,
scared and shit. I'm like, look here. If they still got showtime for movies, I'm going. Fuck that shit.
like imagine if they announced like, oh, there's this thing going around that's making people come back from the dead, and shooting them in the head doesn't work or nothing.
Oh my god. Like the monkey
That
spark.
would be a crazy scenario of
Um,
like a zombie that can't die
uh,
at all. Like,
I'm like, what the fuck kind of zombie is that? Like, because every zombie that I've ever seen or read about, there's one way that you can kill them at least. Like, it's a headshot or you got to burn them up or something. But some shit that we can't kill, that's something the movies haven't even come up with. I'm like, what's the point of the plot if you can't get rid of them?
Man, that's
mhm.
damn something.
Because then it's like, why that you're telling me like if the main character is like, man, I've encountered zombies for the last 2 months and I haven't been able to kill
I,
any of them.
I'll
Nobody
tell
is
you
going
what.
to survive in this movie.
Yeah.
If a zombie apocalypse happens, I'm getting me a wooden baseball bat, and putting barbed wire around it, and I'm just gonna be like Negan. Just gonna have my leather coat on and stuff.
I
Oh,
have
I would.
I
Oh,
stopped
I would.
watching The Walking Dead, but last I seen is the zombies do they have sense and intelligence now?
No, 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 no. See,
No, the
what it is.
whispers. Those are the whispers.
Yeah, the Whisperers are basically humans that their leader is named Alpha. She's like this badass female, and she got this dude named Beta, even though he's big as fuck and can kill everybody in that show. But anyway, they walk around with the zombies and they wear like the zombie mask and shit, and they blend in with them. So you thinking, oh, I'm just gonna off these walkers
Yeah,
real quick.
it's
Next thing you know, you get a fucking roundhouse to your head, Danny. You like, how the hell does zombie kick me like that?
Damn.
and that's how they do. That's how they go around like attacking people and stuff. Like they'll blend in with the walkers, and they'll like you end up
So the
getting shanked.
walkers can't tell that they're alive?
No, because
Nah, it's that's the whole thing. They established that earlier on, like how like Rick and them would put
Uh,
Walker
uh,
blood on them.
yeah.
Yeah. So
They
I
yeah.
saw
So
that
because they
part.
got the flesh, yeah, because they're wearing the actual flesh over their face.
I got
When
you.
the zombies they operate with the sole purpose of spreading the virus, and when that's why they respond to noises and stuff like that. So if you smell like them, their senses will detect that, and you'll be fine. The only time that gets disrupted is if say you're doing something stupid like you're singing a lullaby or you do something to fuck up their senses, then they're gonna attack you. But other than that, you can walk
yeah.
among them, barbecue among them, and you'll be fine.
Got you.
And the crazy thing about it is like when they said it in season 2 that everybody's infected, and it's not necessarily the bite that kills you; it's the bacteria and stuff that's like in the people in the zombie's mouth and all that stuff, or just in between their fingernails. And if you get scratched or anything like that, then
Yeah,
you're pretty much dead.
right. Well, I mean, like, okay, like everyone, like when they die, unless they get like
Mhm.
damage to the brain, they're gonna come back as a walker, a
Yeah.
zombie. But if you
Hmm.
get bit, though, it's gonna speed that up. You're gonna turn in like so many minutes or hours, depending on how many times you got bit or where you got bit. So you're just
Hmm.
speeding up the process. But that's why they showed us that when characters do die, whether it be cancer or they fell and snapped their neck or something, they say, okay, go ahead and attack that brain so they don't come back and kill us in our sleep. So
Yeah.
that's why.
Or you could be like Black Summer, which is another zombie show where like they ignore the headshots and just try to take out the body and stuff. It's hilarious. It's hilariously bad. But it's
See,
like literally they literally had a scene where like they had all these survivors and they had one infected person just come out of nowhere. They're all lighting up and nobody's shooting in the head.
see, see at that point, you got to have people that have seen zombie movies in real life. Like, look, they said in the zombie movies we got to shoot them in the head, so let's try that. If that shit don't work, then I'm gonna shoot myself immediately after. That's how that's gonna be.
I hear you,
So, but
man.
Danny though, don't worry though, because like, okay, Danny, if a zombie apocalypse happened, what am I talking about? If it happened, it's already happening right now. We just haven't seen a zombie yet. But anyway, so right now, if a zombie came knocking on your door, Danny, like how would you feel? Of course, you're gonna kill it, but what would you do with your family? Are you gonna try to change locations, or are you gonna like hold up in the house and just kind of go from there? Or what do you feel you would do differently in this
I'm trying to hold up in the house. I got enough ammo in my car. That's quite a while, and I'm a pretty decent shot. So
um,
from that standpoint,
uh, I'm not doubting your skills with shooting, Danny, but when you say that you have enough ammo, because I'm thinking about all the zombie apocalypse scenarios, like every character that has said that at some point has run out of ammo, and then like usually they get eaten.
okay. Well, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 guns, and I can't tell. I gotta add some damn ammo in my profession, so I can't say I can last forever, but I could put a hurting.
So you would
Yep.
okay, like time wise, would you say like you can maybe last half a year? Like what you thinking?
Probably could last a few months.
Okay,
I can last long enough to get in my car
So
and
would you just
go where I know
would
I
you
can
just
get something.
would you just like because I think the smartest thing to do if you have all that ammunition is to save that as much as you can and just go like if it's just like one or two zombies, just poke them in the head. Boom, boom.
I'll try to come up with some kind of
right,
maneuver.
and
I got a big ass.
also you got to think about the noise too,
Yeah.
because
I
if you
try.
make too much noise, you're gonna attract more.
I got two big ass ditches in front of my yard, so I would try and fill that shit with gas. So if
Man,
that's my first line of defense, I'm gonna light that sucker and burn a few of them while they
um,
pain and stuff. I can snipe them. I got a AR-15, so I can snipe
man.
them from a long distance.
So what? Okay, here's the thing. Like, I'm not a fan of guns. Like, I will use a knife or a cali stick or a bat or anything before I use a gun. So I'd be one of those characters, like, like
Oh, you mean
Michonne,
But you
yeah,
saw my
it's Michonne,
I sent you a
Morgan,
video,
or
Terrance. So you saw a little bit of what I could do.
oh yeah, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not. It's not me doubting your abilities. It's just in a scenario when there are zombies. When you're getting surrounded by hordes, like
when you
these
use
situations.
a baseball bat, a sword, a cali stick, whatever you say, what that's too damn close.
Yeah, okay, but you're not wrong about that. But there's something about the Darrow character and the Michonne character in terms of their means of attack that resonates with me because I'd be one of those type characters. Like you're gonna have all these humans like Terror, shoot the gun, Terror, and then I'm gonna take out like 10 walkers. I'll be like, see, I did that and I didn't even need a gun. Then they're
So
gonna say, well, what about if there's like 200 of them? What you gonna do then? Well, first of all, I would probably not get in that situation. Like that's
so you're gonna have the two walkers on a chain like two dogs and cut their arms off and
no,
walk
no, no,
around.
no. No, no,
Like,
no. See, that's cool from a show, but I wouldn't. I have this thing where I deal with logic, right? So I'm not going to put myself in any situation where I'm at risk, which is why, having walkers around, nope. Having a horde around just so I could be like the whispers, nope. None of that shit. Or
that
even
that
groups. I have problems with groups.
yeah, I
I
think
don't
the
want
way the
groups because
I think I think the way the whispers move though, like that's like really genius. It's especially from like a tactical perspective because they did it. They did it's the comic book and the TV show is way different. Like in the comic book, to counter the whispers, they say, hey, let's go into their turf, and they killed a bunch of whispers and took their masks and stuff, and they just were able to blend in, and that's how they were able to like kill them and whatnot. But they did it differently in the TV show. But I just that's something unique about The Walking Dead. Like they put you in different scenarios, so it's like
Hey, Perp,
it's
that might still happen near the end. They might do the whole, blend it in and kill him, like maybe towards the end.
possibly. I just saw the recent new episode, and it looks like it's getting towards the end of the Whisper War, but that's a whole other.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel you though, but like, I mean, so Danny, you said that's way too close. So let's just say during this zombie apocalypse, I happen to run into you, and I tell you that I'm not going to use a gun. Would you say that you would have a problem with that, or
Say
would you
bye,
just?
Terrance. Nice seeing you.
But Danny, I thought, like, why would you like send me out there? Like,
Uh, uh,
you,
uh. I ain't trying to. There's one thing to be a conscientious objector during regular wartime with humans. It's a horse of a totally different color when you can't reason with that sucker, and you talking about going out there fighting hand to hand or sword to limb, none of that Bruce Lee bullshit. That's
a
fine.
conscientious objector. Oh, okay, first of all, they don't do anything. Like
Okay.
they wouldn't be willing to do any form of violence. Like
If
I
I
am still
hand you
telling
a
you.
gun and a shit ton of ammo and say, "Look, that's your point right there," and you say, "Nah, Dan, I want to take my nunchucks or whatever the hell you use. Bye,
Oh, yeah,
you are
Okay,
alive."
Danny,
okay,
Danny,
but
Danny,
okay,
you right. There's a one that annoys the hell out of me, and in Walking Dead. It's Kelly. She uses a slingshot.
Oh hell no.
oh man, but
I'm
she
like,
be she be laying them out though, perfect that
I'm
fucking
like, yo,
slingshot though.
nah, that shit's bullshit. I was like, you ain't doing
I
nothing
don't
with that
care. I
slingshot.
don't care how deadly
Eh,
you
eh,
are with a slingshot.
okay,
You ain't gonna beat no doggone fully automatic weapon. That
no,
ain't
no, no, you're right though, Danny. But to Perp's point though, like I don't really care for that character, but the fact that she can utilize a slingshot like that, because you got to remember that these characters are not regular people. Like you're talking about like
Yeah,
most people in real life would be dead. So these characters can
I,
get away with stuff
have,
that most people can't.
I hear what you're saying. And if that's all we got, then okay. She team
But
badass. But if I'm handing you an AK-47 or AR-15 or M16 or any other kind of fully automatic, semi-automatic, whatever weapon, and you say, "Nah, I'm good." Your ass,
if you got
you better be like Snake
a
Eyes or damn Storm
oh,
Shadow. Good.
okay, but
if
here's the
if
thing
you
though,
got
Danny. There is a character. Wait, go ahead, Perp.
now say if you have a crossbow, that's a whole nother story. You just try to show off, like
Yeah,
Uh,
like Daryl's a beast, man. He be
Daryl's a
laying them out.
badass though. Daryl's a
But
badass,
yeah.
here's the thing though.
and
There's a
that's
character in Fear the Walking Dead, and he's kind of like a cowboy. Like this dude, I can't wait till he crosses over with the Walking Dead because they've already caught up with the timeline because it was a prequel show, and now it's caught up because Morgan it has joined that team. He's pretty much the leader of those people from Fear the Walking Dead. But they got this dude. He looks like a cowboy, and every time he shoots, he gets a perfect headshot every time with his guns. Like so, in a situation, if you tell me to use a gun, right?
yeah.
Here's what I'll tell you. How about look? We're not supposed to be making a lot of noise. We're going to attract more walkers. But if it's in a situation to where I have to, then I will. But I'm just letting you know that I would be the type of guy that's walking down the street and I wouldn't carry that on me. But I'm willing to use it if I need to, if I absolutely need to. I'm not going to be one of those idiots like Danny. There's 300 walkers. Just give me some minutes and I'll take them all out. I might say that, but after I kill like 20, I'm like, Danny, hand me the gun. Like, I'm
Okay.
starting to get a little bit tired. But
Okay. If
And,
you
so
and
like
you
I'm
def
just trying to
you
let you
like
know
it,
that I'm
Terrence,
not.
I love it.
and you definitely got to do the Rick Grimes thing, and like you come across anybody that's new, you got to ask them how many walkers have you killed, how many humans have
No,
you
I'm not.
killed.
No, 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 no. See, because if they no, see, I the show would be different if I was the main character because I'd just be by myself. But like in terms of them telling me that they killed a lot of humans, that's not gonna bother me because I'm not a fan of humans. So I'm like, damn, you didn't kill 100 humans, huh? At that point, I would just have one question. I'm like, okay, now these humans that you took out, would you say that they were the evil or anything, or did you just see them and it was a Tuesday and you decided to kill them? Because these things I need to know because if I'm like, okay, sir, you can join me, then for all I know, they might try to take me out. So I don't want
Right.
that. That's why I want to roll by myself. So naturally, I would ask questions, but my criteria for a group, because again, I don't want one, but if I felt the need to join one or if I'm putting one together myself, they need to be on a similar mindset so that way we can all flow together because I do believe
Right.
in that Spartan mentality. I'm only as strong as the man to my right or left. So I don't want to be
Hmm.
holding no group full of weaklings to where I got to worry about these motherfuckers every time they go out to get a can of beans and shit. Like, damn, did Johnny get killed?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be
Yeah.
doing that.
If your ankle's messed up, I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna have to do you like Shane and just leave you there. Like Shane was wrong for that, yo.
Man, Shane, no, Shane was my favorite character when that shit started. I was like, Shane is my boy. Like,
Shane was worth of shit. I was
Yeah, he
glad.
was giving. Yo, because if he was still alive, he would have got a lot of people killed. Yo, like just like
you,
with the
but
governor, with Negan.
You be bored, and the first chance you get, you gonna try and take your boy wife. No,
but you know what though? To be fair though, that he thought Rick was dead as fuck. Like he thought he was
yeah,
dead. So when he
he
came
tried.
back, you know,
No, but you chose Rick again. He tried to do everything he can to undermine Rick, and man, I'm glad Rick smoked his ass. Next,
That was a
but
great
Shane
scene.
was so
Great
cool
scene.
though, man. Because but think about how Shane would be dealing with like Negan and the Whispers. Like man, Shane would Shane would be on point.
That'd be
That's
the
why I
first.
liked him.
That'd be the first person Negan would have killed with Shane. He's like, you
You know,
talk too much.
hey, hey, you know what though? Like, I feel like that would have been cool to see Shane talking to Negan. That would have been the scene right there. Perfect.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd have been epic. Like you just see Rick there just shitting himself, and then like Shane's like not even phased. He's like, "Yo,
hell
I'll
yeah,
fight you on a one type shit or something like that."
yeah. I'm not
But
gonna
yeah,
lie though. Honestly, I do see. I did see just a smidget of myself in Shane. Like, I wouldn't be as stupid as him, but like the whole, not bowing down to people and doing what you feel you need to do. Like, I do like those traits as long as they're directed appropriately. And Shane had a problem with doing it inappropriately. He was messing up too much. He was letting the emotions get control of him. And I would tell him too,
hmm
if I was part of Rick's group, I'd be like, Shane, look, I like you, man. You got a lot of traits that I like, but you're also a fuck up, and I have a problem with that. You have too much shit I don't like. So that would have been a conversation between me and him.
yeah.
And I'd be like, Rick, I know Shane is your boy, but you gotta let me kill him. You gotta let me take him out because he's gonna get
That's
all of us
exactly
killed.
what Negan would say. That's exactly what he would say. He's like, I don't want to kill you, but I gotta set an example.
uh,
Man,
man,
me and Negan, man, I'd have been like, hey, because my friend was like, would you serve Negan? And I'm like, there's only one condition that I have for that, because like I said, normally I would want to be by myself, but if I got to be with Negan, I want to be his right hand man. I want to be the dude that he sends
Yeah,
to
Simon.
collect everybody's shit. Yeah, I want to be
Yeah.
like Simon, because any of that other shit, I'm like, nah. And I would let Negan know. I'd be like, look, let me fuck up all the people you think are good to show you that I'm better than them. Like that's how I would go about that situation.
His
You ain't gonna
his
put me in
his
that.
introduction was like by far I think the one of the best introductions to a TV villain of all time. Like, because
Oh yeah,
like there's nothing that compares to that. Like, he's just so nonchalant about stuff and like cracking jokes. Like as he's bashing Glenn's head in, he's like, "Oh, Lucille, she's a vampire bat," like stuff like that, and just he's mad
e-
sadistic and just
exactly. And,
hilarious.
and and Rick and them all brought it on themselves too. You shouldn't have
Yeah.
killed their people. Daryl shouldn't have blew their asses up with a rocket. You brought it on yourself. So in that situation, I wasn't feeling sorry for him because I remember my friend's mom was like, "Do you think they deserve it?" And I broke it down to her. I was like, "Who attacked who first? How many people
Yeah,
did
because
they kill before Negan decided to do something?" Just saying.
and at that point, like was at the top, like on the like king of the hill. Like his ego was just on the all-time high. He needed to be knocked out a peg, and he found his
Yeah,
match.
yeah. He found and Negan broke Rick. So in that position, I'm like Negan is better than Rick because he took him and he broke him. Like when you make a man beg and cry and shit, you've just defeated him. Like he can come back later, but in that moment, you have fucked that man over. He's done.
He did it twice. He did it like when they lined up, and then like when he tried to tell him like you got to cut your son's arm off.
Exactly. Oh, when he had Carl and he had the lemonade and the bread and shit, that was man. I don't care. Like you know me. Like I'd be repping Marvel and DC, but like nah. That moment with Negan just holding that
I
child,
made a
I'm like,
mistake bringing up this conversation. I don't give a damn about this conversation.
You should catch up with Walking Dead, yo.
No.
It's entertaining.
Danny, Danny, the way
just for Negan.
Just for Negan, Danny, because the way that Negan makes you feel, the MCU can learn a thing or two about that. I'm just saying because they're villains. They be showing up and they're just, hey, I'm cool. Look at me, and then they die almost as fast.
Didn't the Bat and the Sun did Negan versus the Joker?
Yes,
And
it was awesome.
Who won it? Negan did it, or did the Joker?
I think it was a thing where it was. I think they did two. They did like an alternate version or something, if I remember correctly. So I think both of them won in different scenarios, if I remember correctly.
So Negan is in the level of the Joker. That's what you're telling me.
No. See, no. Bat and the Sun, the way that they operate their fights is by voting. So if people vote for a character to win, and it's so like say if it's like 70% for one and 30% for the other, then it's going to be that character winning.
I understand that, but I'm asking you the question: is that even a fair? Is that even a fair contest?
It's not.
I mean,
no.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm saying, like, if we just look at these characters and just be like, all right, if we're going to say, all right, for hypothetically speaking, Rick is Batman in this universe, who would be his Joker? It'd be pretty much Negan.
Well, sure. If you break it down like that, but not 99.9% of the time, the Joker is going to beat Negan. Like the Joker, to me, the Joker is actually psychotic. Negan is just a person that assumed a position and he took advantage of the world that he's living in. He's like, I'm in an apocalyptic scenario. I lost my wife, and now what I'm going to do is make people lead me so I don't be anyone else.
I got you. And what season was that?
Huh?
What season was Negan?
He came up at the end of season 6, but he was really introduced in season 7, like the first episode. I can show you. I'll send you the clip.
That'll work. I may watch it just for him, but I lost interest in that show a long time. Terrance, you here? Terrance, you lost.
He's probably got to come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I see what people are saying, like they lost interest, but like once Negan got introduced, I was like, yo, this is like a breath of fresh air because he's so different. He's completely different from any other character that you probably and stuff like.
We have to check him out.
Yeah.
Brightburn, that's what this guy said. He said it was trash, then next time he said it was good, so I don't know what he means.
Okay, wait, what was happening?
I just saying you back.
Oh yeah. No, I was saying that the joke. I like what Perp said about Negan and Rick. I see that, and that does make sense, Perp. But I'm just saying that Negan operates in a series of rules. His whole thing is he lost his wife, and he was like, his whole thinking is completely logical. I'm going to have people work for me. That way I can get protection. I can get all the supplies I need, right? And as long as you do what he wants, you don't die. The Joker, you don't know what he wants. He just kills people because he thinks it's funny. He's way more unpredictable. Yeah. I could do everything that he says, and he will still find a reason to kill me. His word is not his bond. With Negan, I have seen the whole time of his presence. When you do what he asks you, you're completely fine. But Rick and Daryl and them, they're hard-headed. They don't want to listen. Their egos are too big. They don't want to work for Negan, and that's why they have suffered as much as they have.
Yeah, like Daryl was the reason why Glenn died, really.
And Abraham. So as much as I like Daryl, I'd be like, damn, Daryl, man, like you,
Taking it like a
this is
champ.
all your fault.
Oh man,
Yeah,
he's got so many quotables, like
yeah,
especially like
man. You know what?
interaction with Beta.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
man. You know what though? I feel like me and him would have just interesting conversations because I have a feeling he would do something I don't like, and he'd be like, "Sometimes in life," I'm like, "No, nigga, you don't get to say that shit."
Yeah, it'd be funny.
All right, let's see what the chat's saying. Brightburn was good. I still think you're being generous, Perp. I'm not sure what Mad's
That
referring
was
to.
probably when I called when I said when I first saw Captain Marvel, I gave it 7
I got
going down. Yeah.
Ooh, after you read the chat, I got a question for you, Danny.
all right. D. Scott said Brightburn was a big surprise. Nut Thrive said Bloodshot. I was going to see it today, but I got caught up. I had a stream at 3 with Sean and with Sean and Chris. And then I got this stream right here I'm on now with you guys. So I won't be able to see it today. D. Scott said the last night, I think he was helping us out. Coach Gabe said he never saw Bumblebee. He's going to watch it tonight. Bumblebee was not bad. I like the way they kind of paid homage to the old Transformers at the beginning.
Oh yeah,
Cybertron that actually looked like Optimus and the rest of them. So
I'm over
cool.
Transformers. Give me Beast Wars.
Oh yeah, Beast Wars is the shit. But if they make a Beast Wars movie,
so what if I told you? So what if I told you guys like, hey man, they got this project that they offered me, and I tell you that this is the best Transformers movie you're ever gonna watch. You guys wouldn't watch it?
I'd watch it, but you got to tell me which one it is. Because if you say Beast Machines, I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna take a hard pass on that, bro.
You don't want to see. You don't want to see Beast. You don't want to see Beast Wars.
Beast Machines. Beast Machines came after Beast Wars.
Oh, okay. I got you.
That was complete trash. Like that was terrible.
I didn't see Beast Machines.
They went back to Cybertron, but they couldn't. You know, they used to have like the Decepticon codes and the Maximal code, but they had to do something. I can't even think what it was.
I didn't even see that though. Beast Machines, like
okay. On Beast Wars, the old Optimus was able to blend his spark with new Optimus, and they call himself Maximal Prime or something like that.
Okay.
And then the old Megatron was able to the new Megatron was able to dip his spark with the old Megatron, and he became like this dragon or something. I mean, he was like super powerful.
Right.
Kind of way they went back to Cybertron, where Megatron was able to take all the sparks and bend them to his will. And the only ones that was fighting him was Optimus, Cheetor, about 4 or 5 of them. But
the only Transformers like outside of Beast Wars that like the cartoon series I messed with was I forget the actual title. It was like Transformers Energon or something like that.
Yeah. Did they have one
that
with the headmasters and stuff? It's about 4
so you wouldn't be down for me just do like just a Transformers movie?
I'm just saying, if they say, Terrance, we're gonna give you Transformers Beast Machines, I'm gonna tell you, Terrance, don't touch it. You can't breathe enough life into that particular franchise. Now, if they tell you, Terrance, you're gonna get Beast Wars, I'll be on board.
So what would you do? What would you do if I told you that I think that I got the formula? You wouldn't give it a shot?
I gotta listen to it. I gotta see what you're saying.
Because imagine this, right? Everybody saw the Planet of the Apes, right?
Yeah, all of them.
Imagine if Optimus Prime looked like that in Beast Wars, but bigger, obviously. But
that would be interesting. That'd be interesting. But yeah, you know, because you guys would have to show up, man. You know, I'd be like, man, Danny and Purple supposed to be at this damn premiere, but they're not here yet.
Yeah, I didn't get my passes.
I'll come to the premiere. I'll be like, damn, bro. If it's good,
I'll come.
if it's good,
I'll
I'd be
come to
like, yeah, man. But if it's like the show, I'd be like,
the.
damn,
I'm
bro.
like, I'm
I'll
like,
come to
see,
the premiere with
I'd be like, man,
to this. Like I need to.
I'm
you gotta
like,
stick.
I'm,
I'd be like, man, you gotta stick with the martial arts, bro. Lead the director, somebody
you
else.
know what? I'd be like, look, your security escort my friend out of this building. Like he done drunk the wrong thing. Yep.
Oh goodness, man, you gotta check that out. If you watch Beast Machines, you'll know what me and Perp talking about.
Yeah, I don't think I see
Yeah,
no beast machines. I'm like, what is that?
that's probably
It's
a
the
good
it's
thing.
the it's the Transformers after Beast Wars.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't see it. That's around the time when I stopped messing with them like that.
You didn't like Beast Wars?
No, no, I did, but after Beast Wars, that's when I fell off. Like I didn't really see nothing else after that.
Beast
So,
Machines is the next chapter after Transformers.
oh, okay, yeah.
Johnny Xbox says, "I hope they show us Aqualad on Aquaman 2." I don't give a damn about no Aqualad. I mean,
Wait, hold on. What human said that? Because
Johnny
it,
Xbox.
Johnny X, did you see Titans season 2? Because they had Aqualad on there. Like he was dope before something
I
happened.
mean,
But yeah, like because there's two versions of that character.
Aqualad was cool in Young Justice. If we get that like Aqualad, then I'm cool with it.
Oh, the black one. You know what's funny
Yeah.
about that perp? Like I was talking to a dude and he was like, "Man, Terrance, they did it again." I was like, "What happened?" They was like, they did the race swapping." I'm like, "Well, who?" They was like, "Oh, Aqualad." I'm like, "No, no, no. See, this is actually." I was like, "No, no, 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 no." I was like, "No, this is the situation where." I told him I was like, "This is a situation where there's a black one and a white one, and the black one came after the white one." He was like, "Oh shit, T, I didn't know that." I was like, "No, I got you, but sometimes in life, this is not a good one to use because there's two of them." So.
Johnny Xbox says he's ready for Avatar 2 to come out. I'm ready
Yeah.
for it too, but only for the reason that I'm tired of hearing, oh, they kicking it back, they push it back. If he, I think James Cameron is so pissed off now because Endgame beat his record. He's trying to go back
What?
and just be like, oh, what am I gonna do to make it better? What I'm gonna do to make it better?
That is
My
not what
thing about
happened, Danny. Like
my thing with Avatar
That's
2
what I
is like
think.
this first trailer better be fucking amazing. The
that
first
is not
trailer,
what.
not the
But
second
that is
one.
It ain't gonna beat it. The only reason why, okay, two reasons why James Cameron even got that. Because one, back then when Avatar came out, the big thing was 3D. And 3D movie costs more than a regular movie. So that's where he got the extra money from.
And it got
that-
re-released.
Two,
but
it stay in theaters twice as long, almost three times as long as movies stay in there today now.
that's because people were asking for it. Like people were asking for it when they took it out of the theater. People wanted to see it again. So
You
so
It, it
you
was it
you
was a
sound like
cool
one of
movie.
those people that think that Avatar is better than Endgame. Is
no
that
no
what
no 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 Danny, I did not say that. All I'm saying
you
is
feeling that
that
mighty
James
hard, bro?
Danny, come on, Danny, you know me, man. Like
I'm listening.
that,
I'm listening.
Danny, that is not what I'm saying. I enjoyed Endgame way more than Avatar, but at
Okay.
the same time, Endgame made me feel things that Avatar didn't. Because see, with Avatar, I'm not coming at that from a fan perspective. It's new at the time that I was watching it. With Endgame, I have certain critiques because I am a fan,
That
so it's
is
just
fair.
different.
It's
But at
fair.
the same time, James Cameron specifically has been saying for years before Endgame passed his movie that he is waiting for someone to pass him up because it hasn't happened. And he congratulated Kevin Feige
Okay.
when it happened.
I hear all that, and I talk and I tell people, yeah, man, thank you, blah 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 blah. That I don't particularly care for all the time. I gotta do it in my profession. Yeah, man, you're doing an outstanding job when you're doing a bunch of bull crap. I have to say that.
Okay, but
Okay,
but to
you
be
know,
fair though,
okay. To be
to
fair, why does he keep pushing back? This thing has been pushed back for the past decade. Why?
It's
because
he's
the thing is with James Cameron, he's working on multiple Avatar movies at the same time, so that's
Okay,
why.
but
Like,
okay.
and he's trying to use new technology.
The Russo brothers worked on Endgame and Infinity War simultaneously. If you listen to some of the
he
um interviews that said we didn't know what scene we were shooting. One
That,
scene, this, and this. So they did it.
He, he,
but that's not
he's
the same thing though, because you're talking about
he's work
Marvel
he's
Studios
working.
is a well-oiled machine, and they're using a lot of the same techniques.
Okay.
James Cameron, when he made Avatar, he was doing something completely new with technology, like he's trying to do the next time around, which takes a lot more time to develop versus using familiar techniques.
I hear that. My understanding, he's supposed to be filming them under the water this time, right?
Yeah, yeah, he's
How
gonna.
how is he going to improve upon what Aquaman did? You said yourself that that was the most realistic stuff you ever seen, and that
Yes,
came
but
out
He,
way
he,
after
now,
James
now
Cameron
the
prepared to
you,
go.
now now
you're right.
the
Go ahead.
technology I heard he's working on is like something to where you don't need 3D glasses,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
3D, like
exactly.
3D effect would do it without the 3D glasses, which I'm curious to see that. Like that would
That's
be.
that's what I'm saying. That's a lot more complex than like,
Okay.
okay,
I,
doing like, yeah.
I'm
So
gonna give you. I'm gonna
I
give.
don't know this then.
I'm gonna give you that point that he's doing this. How long are we going to have to wait? Because he could die.
Right.
He could
Yeah.
die. I mean, how long is enough time when you be like, okay, I waited long
and,
enough? Let
and
let
Okay,
I,
but
I
there are
agree with
variables, but
I,
there are variables that we don't know, Danny. Like, look, since he said he was working on two, three of them at the same time, for all we know, one of them could be done, right? and,
okay.
and then he might be working on the next one because he has them planned specifically to come out back to back.
I
So
hear you.
maybe he's doing different things, but it's hard to say.
and,
But what I do know from James Cameron is that he's made a lot of great fucking movies. So
I,
it would be
but
it
I'm
would
not.
be
I
silly for me to doubt him. I'm not going to
I
doubt him.
agree.
I have to
I
see it.
agree with what Danny was talking about, like how long we're gonna wait. That's why I said like when this first trailer for Avatar 2 comes out, it has to blow everything out of the water. Like they can't wait
I,
till
I,
trailer 2 or trailer 3. Like it's been way too
I don't
like.
think so though. I don't think
But I'm
so because
saying,
I'll tell you why. Because look at what happened with the first
mhm.
Avatar. Avatar was the kind of movie where there was some kind of curiosity and it grew every single day that it was in the theater. I think that it would be along the lines of what would happen with the second one. It would have to build. So I don't think it necessarily
But that's
depends
what
on the
I'm saying.
reaction.
It's a different time that we're living in too, because like with social media, it's even bigger now, and just people's attention spans are like very short. So if you can't like grab somebody's attention off rip, they're not going to be interested. And like
Okay,
that's a big thing about these movies
I
too.
Okay,
So
that's fair, per. But I'll say this though. Look, I
mhm.
think what would happen. Let's say the trailer comes out, and then even I don't care. I'm like, man, I don't like how it looks. But because I watched the first one, and because it's been so long without a sequel, I think that I would not be alone just to see how the second one is. There has to be some curiosity there. Like we've been
I'm
waiting
curious.
forever for this. Let's see.
I'm curious. I'm definitely curious of Avatar 2. I'm probably going to be in the not the front row, but I'm going to be in the theater the night it opens or the day it.
See,
Okay,
That's all
I
he
think
needs.
okay,
I
but
think
if he keep waiting too much longer, I'm gonna tell
mhm.
him to kiss my ass. Because
I
Right,
think
but
I
and
think what would be smart. I think what would have been smart for James Cameron to do is give people little hints or nuggets of what the story is going to be about while we wait.
well,
exactly.
he has though. Not the story, but in terms of interviews. Whenever he's been on any given interview, even during his Terminator stuff, people ask him about Avatar, and he gives you a little bit of nuggets. He's like, "Look, I'm working on it. I'm working on some new technology, but I want you to see it, and I want you to be wowed by it." And I'm like, this dude has consistently said that. So I'm like, look, he's trying to tell me that when I see that shit, I'm gonna buy my ticket immediately. But even if I don't feel that way, like Danny said, there's going to be curiosity, and I feel like that alone is enough. And when the people go see it, if they like it, then they'll tell
That
everybody
alone-
else, take your at take, because the movie doesn't have to be in game. In game is like
Hmm
a whole other thing. You are talking about literally Avatar is an original concept in the sense that it's not pulled from anything else. You are comparing that to a movie that has 23 some odd other movies attached to it. That's an entire
I
franchise.
understand what you're saying, but right now, the way things are going, the benchmark is no longer 500,000, 600. The benchmark now, the way movies are going, it's $1 billion a bust. Now,
And,
Harry Potter,
That's not true. That's not true.
In this particular genre, it is.
No, 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 no. See, like the problem that a lot of people have is that the $1 billion mark is not common. They only think that because of certain comic book movies. Your movie is successful based upon how much it is compared to your budget. Like
Okay,
let's say Avatar 2 costs 200 million and it makes over 900 million, it's a success.
I understand the numerics. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying from the casual fan, I'm just looking and glancing. I know that if your movie makes you take $50 million, make your movie. From what I'm being told, the formula is multiply that time three. Anything over three, that particular number is successful. I'm not doubting the formula and the metrics behind it. I'm saying now that because it's becoming so commonplace for these combat movies make 800, 900 billion dollars, that's going to start being a norm. Whether
Well,
be whether it's successful or not, whether you making money or not, people going to
I,
start saying, and a lot of people I see on YouTube, well, it made $1 billion, but did it make $1 billion?
okay, but to be fair though, a lot of those humans are being ridiculous because it can't be the norm when comic like okay, for every comic book movie that comes out, there are
It's a
like
norm
20 other
tomorrow,
movies. There are 20 other some odd movies that have nothing to do with comic books. And
Terrance.
something like
It's going to be
it,
the norm, bro. If
it
If
won't be.
Marvel next 4 or 5 movies come out, the next 4 or 5 movies come out, and at least two or three of them don't make $1 billion, people are going to start saying Marvel fatigue.
Oh, okay, but here's the thing though. People can say what they want. They can say Marvel or they don't even say Marvel fatigue. They say comic
Comic
book fatigue. But
fatigue.
here's the thing though. There's no proof of that. As long as the movies keep making money. It's not about them making a billion, it's about them being successful. And that goes for any other movie. Regardless of if there are some people like, "Oh, well, this is the norm for it to make a billion." The $1 billion is
I
not the norm. That's not
I
the
think
norm.
what I think what's gonna start happening is like because of like look at the Joker, like how what was the budget on that, like 50 million. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what studios are gonna start doing is like
That's right.
stop putting like $200 million towards these movies and make things under like 100 million, or
I
so
just,
they can just
You
make
you
more
can't
profit.
always do that though.
I
Look,
just, I
it
just want
depends
to
on the
make sure.
plot.
I just want to make sure
But
on this date, which is March 16th, I said to Perk and I said to Terrence that $1 billion is going to be the benchmark. So when it happens later on down the road, I'm gonna
O-
refresh the memories.
Okay, but here's
Right now we're going to agree to disagree.
no, no, but here's what I'll say though, Danny. I think it's possible, but it's not going to be the norm yet because there are too many movies
Mhm.
that come out that are not comic book based that never reach a billion. That's
I'm not saying for those movies. You misunderstood me. I'm saying for the comic book genre, the action genre, this little particular category is going to be compared to. James Cameron already made $1 billion on his Avatar. You don't think that he want his next 2 or 3 avatars to be in the same class?
okay, but they're different categories though. The sci-fi genre is not the comic book genre.
Okay.
A comic book movie can implement different movie genres, but they're still comic book movies. So in terms of James Cameron, as long as his movie is successful, he's not going to care because he's getting money. Naturally,
Mhm.
everybody wants their movie to do well, but a comic book movie is a comic book movie until it does something different. It has to be different from the sea of comic book films that come out. You have to be something like the Joker. Otherwise, like Black Widow. Watch Black Widow come out, and when we see Black Widow, it's going to be cool. We're going to talk about how awesome it is. And guess what? That's the same thing that we do for every other MCU movie. It's to be expected for it to be cool. That's not different. That's the same old thing.
Now I do think that Avatar 2 is definitely going to be successful because one, it's going to be in December, and people are there are some people, like, I'm not going to say there's like comic book fatigue, but people want to see something like
It's
kind
this
of different.
December. It's
You
going to
know,
be this December.
not
Um,
next December.
Next,
I'm not sure like on the date. I would have to double check, but
I
here's
want
what
to
I'm
see,
going to say, Danny.
other franchises do it. Lord of the Rings that have filmed multiple movies. Harry Potter has filmed multiple movies at a quicker pace.
Okay, but
Mhm.
that's true, Danny. Again, this is not me disagreeing with you. This is me providing the equilibrium balance. The other side of the equation is that we don't know the intricacies that are involved with Avatar. So until we see it, we can't really compare it to anything else because we have to see it first. For all we know, we may see it and go, damn, no wonder this shit took a long time, because look at all of the intricacies. The detail of everything makes all the difference. Just like James Wan said when he was describing his Aquaman film, which made me believe that he could do it before I even watched it. He was talking about the intricacies involved with filmmaking, what he plans on doing with Aquaman, all the detail that he's going to put for the creatures and the water and the fight scenes. He wants it to feel different from other comic book movies that we are accustomed to, because there hasn't been an underwater based comic book movie. So
Okay.
he needs to make it feel different. All that stuff is important.
All right, I got you. You said on a past stream, and I'm kind of paraphrasing. We were talking about the length of making a movie. You said, if I remember correctly, you said something like, "Yeah, it shouldn't take no more than a few months to make the movie, but where it comes in is when they're doing the editing and post production and yada 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 yada." Do you remember saying something along those
It,
lines?
it, it I do remember saying that, and what
Okay.
I said was is that
Now my
that,
follow
that
up question. My follow up question. Avatar came out in 2009. It is
right,
now
right.
2020, which is 11 years later. So it takes
Oh,
11 years for this individual to develop this super high tech stuff.
no, 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 no. Okay, let me use this for an example. Try to bear with me. Bad Boys 3, right? It I
Oh,
say stuff like it took 17 years, but in actuality, it took them about 6 or 7 months to shoot and edit that whole thing. When I'm talking about, it's not so much necessarily the length of time before we get it, but how long it took them to work on it. Because like I said, it took them about 6, 7 months to do all the editing and all the promotion, and then it came out. Like once Will Smith said we're working on it, and then by the time we got it, it was a very short time. The other times when he said we're working on it, he wasn't actually working on it. He was working on other movies the
okay.
whole time. He only recently did Bad Boys 3.
I
So in
got
the case of James Cameron, I don't know that he was working on it for 11 years. He could have just barely started for all I know.
Okay. Another question. When George Lucas first came out with Star Wars, do you think he already had Empire Strike Back, Return of the Jedi written?
Um, what I think is that he had ideals, and I feel like it was all based on what would happen with the first film if it were to be successful. He believed that it would be. Everybody in Hollywood told him he was a damn fool. This is never going to work. These characters are stupid. The dialogue is dumb. The masses would this will not appeal to the masses. You might get a couple people. Everybody laughed him out of the office until that first movie came out. Then everybody was trying to suck his dick after that.
I got you. Okay. Between Star Wars and Empire Strike Back was a few years, right? And then and during that era, George Lucas had privy or uh he had what's the word I'm looking for? He had he had a new cutting edge technology at his disposal, correct?
He did. He did. Yeah.
Okay. So if he's a pioneer back then and the technology isn't half what it was today, in your opinion, why is it taking him 11 years? 'Cause I'm fairly certain when James Cameron thought of Avatar, he had Avatar 2 and 3 already in his mind too.
Oh, that's fair. But okay, if I think about what James Cameron did with Terminator 2, right? He used technology back then that wasn't really a thing either. Look at what he did with the effects of the T800 and the T1000. Like that shit still holds up today. If you watch it on high definition, it looks amazing. I've seen people with like hundreds of millions of dollars that can't do anywhere near as good as the shit that I saw in Terminator 2. Nowhere near. It looks like they made it on $100 budget. The shit that I see, and even less than that. I'm like, these effects are terrible. James Cameron is shitting all over you because he has a special technique. So
Okay.
in terms of George Lucas, what now that I've seen the Star Wars film, I can talk about him, right? We've all seen him. If
Mhm.
you look at the nature of the films, like okay, like when they do the space stuff, that's where the complexities come into play, certain things that they do with the explosions, but a lot of that stuff is practical in comparison to what happens with Avatar, there's a whole lot of CGI. There's a whole lot of different camera angles, the manipulation of light. That's why I keep going back to this word, the intricacies, like when you break all this stuff down. So I'm not saying that it was easy for George Lucas to make Star Wars because it wasn't. But if I compare how a Star Wars movie works to say the first Avatar because that's the example that I have because he's going to be doing Avatar stuff again. The Avatar stuff is way more complicated because there's way more CGI involved. When you're dealing with a lot of practical stuff, your
Mhm.
job is to work around it. In comparison to James Cameron, he has to make all that shit, with the
Okay.
exception of a
And
couple of things.
also he decided to work on all these movies at the same time. So he's probably writing treatments for each one first, and then going step by step and working on little bits with each
I
one. So
I can
if he just focused on two, then we probably got that like sooner. But
Exactly. That's very good. Like when he, I don't know when the hell I saw when he first started talking about Avatar 2, but it definitely was some years ago. But when he said that he has multiple projects, I thought to myself, that has to be what's slowing it down because I can only imagine what it takes to work on one Avatar movie. This dude was talking about two and three of them at the same time
I get what
and
you're saying.
talking about each one is going to be inventive and unique. He was using these really uh, descriptive words to make you think about, well, damn, what are these movies like? It made me even more anxious to see it because of the way he was talking about it in
Okay.
comparison to other directors that are like, oh, my movie's coming out next year. Okay, that's nice, but they weren't describing it like James Cameron was.
I hear what you're saying. Well, let me ask you another question. If you are a not even a movie theater, a movie director or a writer, whatever James Cameron, whatever he did for Avatar, but you stumble up on this idea, and this idea not only made you one of the hottest directors in town, but you had the highest grossing movie ever. What sense does it make not to refocus on trying to recapture lightning in the bottle? Why would
Well,
I don't understand. I
what?
understand you got other projects, but this project right here got you $1 billion. It got you in the Guinness Book of World Record. It got you world known for years. Your movie, your creation stood up to all the other movies ever created. And when you wait
Right.
7 years before you touch it again, that doesn't make
Because
sense to me.
okay, it sure it's in the business of money, but just because everybody else views it as a priority doesn't mean it's a priority to James Cameron. Like he is a person that when he writes and directs stuff, he's passionate about it. He takes his time, which is why when you look at his entire filmography, there's a lot of great stuff there that has his name all over it from a writing and directing standpoint and even an influencing standpoint. A lot of people take shit from James Cameron's stuff and nobody talks about that. But in terms of that, I'm thinking he had to want to do it and not so much people like, hey, you got to make it. No, if James Cameron is not feeling it, he's not going to make it. So that has to be the reason. I don't know. I didn't talk to the guy. I could be talking out of my ass, but it just only matches the track record of how he's conducted himself in regards to making movies.
I hear what you
and,
say. I
and you get
respect it. Go ahead, Perp.
and- I could sorry but
You good?
you could even make that comparison to George R. R. Martin. Like, how long has it been that he's been working on these books and stuff? And like, he's been working on these books for like 10, 15 years or something like that. Even though I don't think he's ever going to finish these shit. But he's got like two more books he has to finish. And
Who?
I think George R. R. Martin, the dude that made Game of Thrones.
I got you.
Yeah, like it
Well,
takes him forever to make books and stuff and whatnot. So,
I, I I hear what y'all both saying, and I respect what you're
mm.
saying. I don't necessarily agree with it. I think is
Y- y-
if he keep trying to reach for perfection, a lot of his fans are gonna die. I mean,
Well,
shit.
here's the thing, though,
Never,
Danny. I don't
never
think
had
that's
time
I
to
don't
wait
think
on you.
that's fair, though. I'm not going to
It
say that
is
he's
fair.
trying to
That's true.
reach. Well, but I don't think. But he's never struck me as a dude that's reaching for perfection. He just wants to do things to where he feels that they're the right way. It doesn't have to be perfect because, like even when I do stuff, I don't have the whole it has to be perfect. It just has to feel right. Like even when I do my training and stuff, it has to feel right. Like it's hard to put a specific bar measurement. You just know when you know. And that's how the creative process works. Like even when I used to write my short stories and movie scripts, I just knew when it was the right time to end it or what to do with the characters. It's a feeling
it,
that you get.
and I agree with Danny. That's what I say. I'm in between with this. I just want to see a trailer,
I,
like, and I always say this, like, this first trailer has to be spectacular, on like another level and just
I agree. I
get
agree.
people's hype going because it's been gone for like we haven't seen another Avatar since like what '09, so it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
the
You should
the
make them
audience,
remember.
yeah, the audience is completely different now from 10 years ago. So it's like it's the same people that went to go see Avatar, like whoever, like if you were a kid then,
If
they're
you
gonna be at
saw if you saw Avatar when you was 60, 65, chances are you ain't gonna see Avatar 2.
You're not
Real talk.
Danny. You're not wrong. But Danny, I want you to understand that I'm not saying that you or Perp are wrong. This is not
Mhm.
about you're
Oh,
wrong. I'm
I'm
right.
not saying you're wrong either. I'm just pointing out my side of the story. Like
Right,
I
and
said,
I definitely like and respect what you and Perp are saying. All I'm doing is presenting the other side of the equation. That's all I'm doing.
I feel you. I got no
I'm the
problem.
middleman.
I got no problem with that. I'm just gonna say I want to see Avatar 2, but damn man, 11 years. That's all I'm gonna say. 11 years.
If I
That's
meet James Cameron, one of the first things I'm going to say, if I happen to run into him and we ain't got Avatar 2 yet, one of the
It,
first things I'm going to ask him is like, James, man, like, man, a lot of these humans, man, they think it's funny and stuff, man. Like, when is this Avatar 2 is coming out? And he
and
might
I don't
tell
want
me
you to do
something.
I don't want
And
you to do
Danny, Danny, I can relate by waiting because like there's a game that I like, a franchise that I love is Kingdom
that.
Hearts, and
Uh-huh.
Kingdom Hearts 3 took like 13 years to come out, and I'm happy.
Oh,
So
See, there you go. As long as you're happy. Like when I saw Bad Boys 3, I was losing my fucking mind in that theater. And I was like, okay, Will,
I haven't
I'm
seen that.
only yeah, that shit, like it made honestly, I like I said when because I was talking to an older couple, they were like they had to be like in their 60s, Danny, and because they had seen them back when they came out and all that stuff. And I was like, you
mm,
know what, guys? I feel like this is on the level of the first one, and it might even be better than that. And then they said,
I, I
hey,
still
we
I
kind of
still
thinking the
think the
same
second one
thing.
I still
Hey,
think the second one's the best, but you know
this
the
what
third one is right under.
if you cross James Cameron path, Terrence, this is what I want you to do for me. Remember that story you told me when you went up against the black belt and you was like a blue belt or something?
Oh, I was a fucking yellow belt, but yeah,
Okay. I want you to roundhouse his ass just like you did that guy and say, make the goddamn movie. That's what I want you to say. That's what I want you to
well,
do.
well,
If you do that
the
for me, you have my
but
lifelong appreciation.
but why would I sidekick James Cameron in the face when I have so much respect for him as it?
Because sometimes you need a kick in the ass to get you doing what you need
But
to do.
but what
So
if that damages
I
his
think.
brain?
okay, look,
I,
you always be telling me what you want, so I'm telling you what I want.
but Danny, I would never ask you to hurt somebody though.
I
Like
make
I
the
mean, let's
call.
not.
I made the call to you. I said, look, T, I'm tired of James Cameron messing around.
I'm sending you
Goddamn
out there.
nerves. You the only person in California that I know that can do this. So if you happen to cross his ass, I'll get you out of jail. I'll pay for your bail or whatever. We'll take care of that. But you Bruce Lee round house kick his ass and tell him make the goddamn movie. That's what I want you to say.
Man, like
No,
man, imagine me coming
I
out
can
the courtroom
only
and
see
shit.
You be all right.
I can only see Terrence doing that if the movie is like complete trash. Like he'll be like, "Oh my god, I sit
Oh
there and
shit,
defended you."
James. Hey, if I come, imagine my reaction, perp, and Danny. Like if I
Yeah,
come to you, like, man, I had so much faith, and then I watched it, and my life was ruined. Like if I say some shit like that, then I feel like we'll
we
revisit
we
this. You know,
we probably won't see you for like a week, and then you'll drop your view and stuff. Like, you gotta cool down for a second.
I hope it be awesome. If it's on the level far as it looking like the water part of Aquaman, I'll be happy. I I
hey, what if it looks? Hey, what if it did something like it looked better than that shit? Wouldn't that be crazy? Like if he somehow like
when
one
they
up
were in,
that.
I don't see how you could do it because when they were in the water, then when they were inside that little air bubble, you could see the water still. Man, that was awesome. Man, I'm like, damn, man.
You're right, but see, here's the thing though about here's the thing about movies though. It's always hard to see something that can possibly be better until we see it though. Just think about the entire movie history, right? I mean, some examples are not touched, like The Godfather and Scarface. I'm like, those are like two of the best movies ever. So, but I mean, there are plenty of examples as to where we're like, man, it ain't gonna touch this one. Scene transition, it definitely touches it. So,
Yeah. Johnny Xbox say, how do we feel about Johnny Depp as Joker on the Batman 2021? We had
I don't even
this
think that's
conversation
confirmed.
last Sunday.
give
Yeah, I
him
don't
a
think that's
chance. Like
confirmed.
he could play. He
What you
just give him a chance. Like
hold
he
on a
gonna
minute?
be able to.
Hold on a minute. Terrence, what you say, Perk?
I don't even think that's confirmed. I
Okay.
thought that was a rumor.
Yeah, it's a
So,
rumor. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about this last week, Perk, and
mhm.
as usual, we on different sides of the fence. I can see him more as Riddler, but Terrence said he sees him more as that. No, he says that he has the acting chops and ability to
I
pull off the Joker.
I
I
would have
said that he
I
can
would have
play both, and
chose
I like your idea, but I'm just saying.
And when I say on the
for
other side of
me
the fence, I don't mean we at like opposite. I'm just saying got little different opinions. That's all. But that's why the show is called
for me
Equilibrium. We got to equal each other out. So
I would have chose like either one choice would have been Bill Skarsgård because like he already played a clown, but then I thought about Evan
Oh
Peters
shit.
and he's really dope in like American Horror Story. He could really like
Hey, Terrence.
uh he really he really he has a lot of range to his acting abilities and whatnot, and he's the same age as Robert Pattinson, so it'd be interesting to see him play the Joker and stuff.
yeah,
But I would always see somebody like when if he has his long hair and stuff, and people would be like, oh, he's just trying to be like Heath Ledger and whatnot. But I think Evan Peters would be a dope Joker.
Terrence, you still there? I heard some
Yeah, I think
commotion.
he was talking. Yeah, I think he's talking with his brother probably.
Beast Machine is the final season of Beast Wars. I didn't know that. I thought it was just a continuation. Okay, good to know.
It's a good
Hello,
conversation
Cal.
though.
I appreciate it. Mad says she's not curious at all about Avatar 2. I am shocked, Mad. Avatar 2, if it lives up to the hype, I don't know. Like I said, it's been
And
11
that's
years.
what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this trailer has to be amazing.
Yeah,
Like
it's gonna be
some
something you're like, whoa.
breathtaking. Yeah,
Because you gotta
it can't
realize
just
now
be no.
the actors are 10 years, 11 years older too. Zoe
Yeah,
Zeldana, I think, and I can't think of the guy that played the other.
I
I know
forget
when
his
I see him,
name.
I can't think of his
But
name.
if they give us a teaser trailer and it's like a puddle of water, like nah,
Yeah.
nah, it's not going nowhere.
Keely Chow said DC had their end game. It was Justice League Unlimited episode Destroyer. Okay,
I'm still
Buffy
waiting to see a
Vampire
live
Slayer
action.
end game. Live action what? Justice League.
Uh, uh yeah, like done right and should
Just-
Dark Side. I think and should voice Dark Side. That'd be epic.
No, I like John Ironside better. I mean, Michael Ironside. Hello, you
Yeah,
there,
I hear you.
Perk? Yeah, you didn't like
Yeah, I'm
Michael
here.
Ironside? I like Michael Ironside as Dark
I
Side.
gotta look up. Yeah, I don't.
He played it on.
I'm
He played it on.
he voiced he,
He
he
voiced Dark
voiced in
Side.
the anime.
Uh huh.
I would have just chose like Brian Cranston just because he has that he can I think he can capture uh, a menacing
Johnny.
dark
Yeah,
side and whatnot.
yeah. Johnny Xbox says, "How y'all feel about Christian Bale becoming Better Ray Bill for the Thor: Love and Thunder? We think he should be if he can't see Christian Bale. I don't think Christian Bale is going to play Better Ray. Everything I'm saying, he's going to be
He's played a villain.
Gore Butcher. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, he's gonna be a villain.
So if he
If
plays
he
that,
channels this American Psycho, that'd be dope. Like
there's this guy character called Gore, the God Butcher, and basically,
that's self-explanatory.
yep.
I'm all for it. Just go kill Jane Foster, kill Thor, get rid of them all, and then bring in Beta Ray Bill.
Yep. Do you think that Morbius will be pushed back? I definitely do. Everything get pushed back. It's
When
gonna
is
get.
that supposed to come out? Wasn't that? I
I
don't think that's
think
coming
like
out till like the fall.
I thought it was like I was thinking at
Let
least
me look it up.
August. What I was thinking.
Morbius.
I
I could have
couldn't get
swore
to
that
Avatar
was like
to see the sequel. What? Mads, come on.
yeah, July 31st.
Yeah, I thought it was around August time. Mads, you need to go see Avatar. Need to watch it again. Give it another watch. Avatar was not to me the Marine Colonel boy. That sucker made the movie because he was determined to kill them bad boys.
It was pretty much like a Pocahontas story though, like but just modernized or Dancing
How
with
you
Wolves or
feel
whatever.
about Keanu Reeves joining the MCU and what character? I think Keanu Reeves can play the new Wolverine.
I don't want like that's the thing. I don't want to see a tall ass Wolverine. Like when they're saying that Henry Cavill should play Wolverine, I was like, nah, he would be a dope
No,
Sabretooth though.
we
Like
had
if
that.
Henry Cavill
We had
was
that same.
Sabretooth, that would be badass.
We had that same argument. Henry Cavill is shorter than Hugh Jackman. We looked it up. Hugh Jackman
Uh,
was 6'2".
hey man, I'm sorry guys. My phone died. Like I was outside, because my parents were being silly. So that's why, because normally, Danny, we don't have all these problems like me cutting in and out and shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you. We just reading some of the chat. That's all.
So what the hell did I miss when my shit died on me?
No, we just reading some of the chat questions basically. One was about how you feel about Christian Bale becoming better Ray Bale, but we didn't hear that. We heard Gore the God Butcher, which we discussed last week. We currently read now. Mad says she couldn't get to Avatar, so she has no desire to see the sequel. I told her she need to give it another shot because it's worth seeing. And Johnny Xbox to say how we feel about Keanu Reeves joining the MCU and what character can you see him playing? I would personally like to see him. I think he could take on Logan, but um,
Um,
I'd rather see him be like a Doctor Doom type character,
like
something like that.
oh yeah, perp. Like if I were talking to Kevin Feige and he said, would you like to see Keanu Reeves play Logan or Doctor Doom? I would say Doctor Doom because his face is covered and you can get away with the whole aging thing. But in the case of
Mhm.
Wolverine, he needs to be young so you can keep him around for the next 12 years. Like Keanu Reeves is too up there in age. Like I'm like, nah, don't cast somebody younger. We need your approach to Wolverine needs to be drastically different from Hugh Jackman. Like any of that old man Logan stuff, Fox already did that. They did it brilliantly, and you will never do better than that. You need to do your own approach.
how about they do Wolverine clean shaven or not the whole beard and stuff? Kind of
Um,
like a
well,
It
the
looked
only
weird.
problem I have with that, Danny, is that
or
if
like
you're gonna if you're gonna make him clean shaven, then his hair needs to be perfect. That's my problem. Because if you can't do the hair, then he ain't gonna look like Wolverine. Because the Wolverine is the hair and the sideburns. Sometimes he cuts them off, but
sideburns and they can do like a 5 o'clock shadow. It ain't gonna be the full beard that we accustomed to seeing.
well, I mean, that 5 o'clock shadow I don't like. Like, if you're gonna give him facial hair, he needs to have the comic book Wolverine sideburns. Like, and if you don't do that, then if you have like I said, if you do the 5 o'clock shadow, I will only be okay with that as long as he has Wolverine's hair. He needs to
Yeah,
look like Wolverine.
that's what I'm saying. And then man, if he get that fight style, and I've seen it in John Wick, can you just see John Wick with claws? Man, that would oh
I would have honestly like my choice for like a Wolverine since like if you want to go more like comic book accurate with him being like mad short or just somewhat short since DC didn't use this person which I'm surprised Warner Brothers didn't utilize him Zach Efron because like he's still relatively young, he's a decent actor, and I think he could fit that part as
somebody got
Wolverine.
that played on
I, Ah,
thing with the
I would
rock.
rather. I don't. I'm not. I'm not completely against that, but that's one of those like I would have to see it first, like because I would
Hmm.
rather him I would rather him play Cyclops before he
Somebody got
plays
that
Wolverine.
film. Baywatch.
Yeah, like I can see him as I can see him
High
as
School Musical.
Cyclops. You guys hear me? I can see him as
Actually,
Cyclops.
yeah, all right, yeah. See that Cyclops. Yeah, I can see that. But I was just thinking, like, yo, he's young. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can bulk up um like a Wolverine. He's short, and he can do like
Right, right. Yeah.
But I'm just thinking young. I'm just thinking young actors. Because I'm tired. I'm honestly tired of people getting like people in their 40s and 50s. Because you think of a long game. Like, do
Yeah.
you really want to see a 50-year-old dude playing like Wolverine? Like, give some of these younger cats like a chance. Like, there's
And
there's a lot of
that's it, and that's in the spirit of the MCU. Like Kevin Feige has
mhm,
hired so many unfamiliar directors and writers. But see, the
mhm,
thing is, because he has a formula, everyone has to work within that. You're told what you can and cannot do. This is your starting point. You need to have this connect to that, and then in the middle of it, you can exercise some of that creativity. But your creativity will never, under any circumstances, counteract my plan because this is connective tissue. This is not like them other studios where you get to do what you want and there's no formula. No, with him, there's a
mhm.
specific formula
And,
that's been a
and
constant.
and mark my words, because I feel like this is going to happen, and I feel like they're just waiting for the perfect time. I pretty sure that after Stranger Things get done, Millie Bobby Brown's going to be in the MCU, possibly as Rogue or something like that.
You know what? It's funny because I haven't really peeped out Stranger Things. I've seen pieces of it. I might watch it one day, but Millie Bobby Brown, that's her name, the actress.
Yeah, she's a
Yeah, like
star. Like, definitely.
yeah, I saw her in Godzilla King of the Monsters. Like anytime that I see her or I see an interview with her, I'm like, I like her. She seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like her in real life in terms of the personality that she's presented. I'm like, she seems like a charming visual. And any nitbits that I've seen of her acting, I'm like, she has a lot of potential. So I can
Hmm.
see her in any Marvel or DC or something like that. You put her anywhere, and
Yeah.
I feel like I'd be open to see what she can do.
Like, even people that are even the cast that's like the younger kids that play like in Cobra Kai, I feel like they're gonna definitely be possibly in the MCU in the next few years and stuff, like, because they've got a lot. There's a lot of like young talent coming up right now. Like, so it's
That's
gonna be
that's a
interesting.
that's a good example, Perp. Like I haven't heard anyone say that, but like in terms of the kids in Cobra Kai, there are some of them I could see them playing like sidekicks of DC characters and shit. Like they would fit
Yeah.
right into that beautifully. Like any of that kind of stuff.
Did you watch
Hmm.
Ragnarok, Terrence?
Not yet. I'm waiting so I could just binge them all. The all the 6 or 8
It's in like,
episodes or whatever.
I think it's like six or something like that. I was gonna
Did you
Yeah,
just
see?
because
look
You
I
watch?
into it.
I'm,
You
I'm
watch
definitely
Perp?
I'm definitely gonna watch it, Danny, because I don't want to do the one at a time because I tried that and I fell off. I couldn't. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just binge it because you told me, hey man, it's dope. The ending, I'll be like, all right. I
Okay, I
trust
did.
you. I trust you, Danny. So I'll watch the whole thing and then I will definitely get back to you on that.
Okay, let me make clarification. I said it was good to me.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, I
So
mean, but
once you go on there and said, "Man, Danny, you told me to watch this and this," I'm saying I liked it.
well, well
I thought it was okay. Go
but
ahead.
Danny, you know me. I'm gonna be fair because like
I
how
got you.
many I've said many times, I don't know if you guys have heard it like this, but I've said, like, look at how I review movies. Like I've said to certain movies, like, I didn't like this movie at all. And one of those is Parasite. I didn't like that movie at all, but I said it was a
What?
master but I said it was a masterpiece. No one else is going to do that. Usually their scores are based on if they like it or not. So when I watch all of Ragnarok, if I think the characters and the storytelling are good, I will say that regardless of if I enjoyed it or not, because that's fair critiquing. Because it's easy to go, oh, I didn't like it, it's an F. Oh, I liked it, it's an A plus. But that's an opinion. It's not wrong, but it's bias, and I don't do that bias stuff. I will be like, A is not for me, but I think other people will like it though, or whatever the case may be. It's always a case by case basis.
I got you. I got you. Did you
So,
watch it, Perk?
I haven't
Perk.
got around to it, but I might one of these days.
but but you and Perp though, because like right now with TV shows, right? There's a bunch of them that I watch, but like I noticed that, especially Perp, like he probably watches more TV shows than I do. Like I'm really more into like the movies. Like I'll watch a bunch of movies, and then with shows, while I do have a pretty big number of shows I watch. Like for me to watch entire shows, I have to be filling them, so I'm a little bit more selective. But when it comes
Mhm.
to movies, by default, if it's a movie, my thing is I want to see everything at least once, so it's
I
guaranteed that I will watch whatever movie I come across.
speaking of which, I recommend you checking out. I'm not okay with this. I think you'll enjoy
Oh
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you reviewed that, didn't you, Perk?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think that was like I saw that you had reviewed it or whatever, but I hadn't seen it. So like, you
What's
know, I have a mild interest in that. I
what's the
do.
best movie you've seen in the past 6 months? Each of you.
What's the best movie?
Yep.
Oh,
That you would
Hmm.
recommend your friends get to go see.
Hmm.
oh, just one, huh?
Yep, just one.
Oh shit.
First one come
Mhm.
to your mind.
I'm gonna go unorthodox choice that just came out on Netflix. All the Bright Places.
Mm.
That was a really good movie. It'll probably
Oh
make you
yeah.
cry.
I haven't. I don't even think I heard of that one, but I definitely want to see it though. Like, cause
Yeah.
with movies, there's the whole, this one I want to see more than that one, but I'll definitely get to it. So
Mhm.
you telling me about it, I had no idea about that because Netflix shit,
It's
like you
got
don't know about it until somebody else tells you. They don't advertise this shit
yeah.
unless it's
You
like
gotta get word
Stranger
of mouth.
Things. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's their flaw.
It's starring Justice Smith, the dude that played in Detective Pikachu and like the Get Down and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So wait,
It was pretty good. It was pretty.
what's that one about? Uh,
It's called All the Bright Places. It's pretty. Essentially, it's about like two characters that have something tragic happen to them in their lives, and that's how they kind of come together and stuff. It's kind of like a romance a little bit, but it's it's a really good movie though. Really good movie.
Oh, yep. No, I definitely believe you because you and
Mm.
Danny tend to have good taste. Like I know that at least if I watch it, even if I don't like it, I would be able to see
Hmm.
why you or Danny appreciate it. So like I get it. I get it.
I
Um
I know. I'm gonna say this like before you continue. Whenever they come out with a real Dragon Ball Z movie, we need
Hell
to
yeah.
talk about it. We need to
Preach,
talk
bro.
about it.
oh
We
Preach.
oh
need
oh
to
oh
talk
yeah,
Ready for it.
that's a must because
I'm ready for it.
now I heard the rumor that Disney is trying to do a Dragon Ball shared universe. I have talked
I
about that.
mean, they
I
would
don't
have to
care
go
about
through.
that young character neither. I want Johnny Yen to be Vegeta.
They need to.
You know,
They would have to go through Toei first and like
man.
Funimation and all that.
Yeah,
I,
that's true. But I mean, it was an article that I read. This is a rumor, so this ain't nothing
Yeah.
official. But from the basis of the article, they were saying they got all the little kinks worked out, and there's a whole entire deal going on that we don't know about. But I'm like, we'll see about that. But
I
if
think
that's
I
the
think we'll
case, then yeah,
I think we'll see a live action Naruto before we see Dragon Ball. Just
that's possible. Because again, it is a rumor, so I'm not really rolling with it. But
Vegeta.
I do like the possibility because there's so much potential there in the right hands. Because
They ain't
I
even
hmm
gonna have Goku on there. Just give me
and,
Vegeta.
and I feel like that's
whoa,
going to be the. I feel
that
like
would
that's
be
going.
odd. What the?
I feel like that's going to be the next wave though. Like with comic book movies already being a mainstay, like anime movies are right next, like coming up next. Like you got Leah Battle Angel,
You said that with
Cowboy Bebop.
But the only problem with anime though is like
Yeah,
it has to face the same hurdle as everything else. Like
yeah.
you have to get the masses to care about it because that even happened with the
Hmm.
comic book stuff. Like outside of Batman, Superman, and then eventually like an X-Men movie here or there, most people they didn't care about comic book stuff. You know what I mean? They like, nah, we that looks
Yeah.
silly. But then
Mm-hmm.
eventually it got to the point to where you got a trillion movies, a trillion shows. Every network is trying to get their hands on comic book stuff. You got people like my mom, like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, I tried to fucking tell you that a long time ago, but you didn't want to listen to me.
Yeah, yeah. Like a My Hero Academia live action would be kind of hard to do because of all the different goofy characters they have. Like, and it's like you would have to either try to go with the wackiness like of certain characters designs, or kind of just make it streamlined and kind of make it more realistic and whatnot. Which is they could do that, but you're just not gonna
What
get like
man, I
you
feel
would.
like you're an expert on My Hero Academia, perp. You can educate me under the table with that. But I'll say this though. In terms of goofy characters,
Mm,
Marvel, in terms of the
uh,
MCU, they've taken some of the most goofy fucking characters that I've ever read, and people love them, like Rocket Raccoon and Groot. And in the comic
yeah,
books, those characters are silly as hell.
I agree.
They're
I agree
silly,
with you
they're
with that. But
silly as
like
hell in the movie.
my
They they
but
they
my
are,
hero,
but it's done in a way to where people like it though. That's the difference.
Not
like
me.
my hero
Oh,
has a
Danny, come
character.
on.
My
Go
hero
ahead.
has a character. My hero has a character that his quirk is tape, and he literally has tape coming out of his elbows. I don't think nobody wants to see that live action.
You know what, Perp? Hey, if you put that character in a good ass My Hero Academia movie to where, because me,
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that anime, but I
Mm,
wasn't feeling it. But like, say like if it's a movie, you're gonna get me. So I probably shouldn't use me as an example. You're gonna get me by default.
mm.
But like the masses, if you can present them with a good My Hero Academia movie, and that character happens to be in there,
Yeah,
there could be the possibility that he's accepted with the rest because of how everything
yeah.
is set up so well. You know.
Mhm. And I would challenge you to go back and just kind of just watch the whole series, because if you watch like little clips here and there, like you're probably not going to really get the feeling for it, because I feel like what My Hero's doing is what DC and like Marvel is lacking, because it's the premise is dope. It's like 80% of the world population has a superpower they call quarks and stuff, and so they have like it's ingrained into their society. So like you got the cops, you got like the FBI, you got like the heroes. Those are like the top of the, and you have to and if you want to become a hero, you have to go through school for that to get like your provisional license and stuff like that, like stuff that we do in real life. So like I feel like that's
You know what's
interesting.
funny about that? Because like my friend, I told him I was like, all right, I'll watch the first episode of season one, and then if I'm not sure, I'll give it to episode two because that's usually how I judge any show. I'm like, I
Mhm.
will know within the first two episodes if I like
And,
it or not. But I watched the whole season of season one, except for maybe like the last one. I think like I ended up
yeah,
doing something else.
it doesn't really kick off until, like, for me at least, till season two. Like season one had some dope moments, like when All Might's sitting there fighting the Numu and stuff and all that. That was dope. But like when you get more into the League of Villains and like everything that's going on with them and how different the villains are, and that's another thing. Like the people that made this are definitely fans of just DC and Marvel, because there's a lot of characters that are similar. Like
Yeah.
there's a villain named Twice, where he's like he has multiple personalities. He can make copies of himself, and he
Mm-hmm.
sat there. Uh, he made so many copies of himself. He ended up killing like they all end up killing each other until there was one. So he's not even probably like the original like character and whatnot. But he's pretty much like the Deadpool character and stuff. Like he'll
Yeah,
talk to the
I
audience and
did know
whatnot.
I did notice that though, Perp, in like season one, I was like, oh, okay, I can see what they're doing, and a part of me does
Mhm.
appreciate it, but it's like my friends, man, like they love it, and I just be like I'm just kind of chill about it, you know, like
And you gotta realize that it's like it's an ongoing anime, so it's like it's certain things are just gonna be built up and whatnot. Like like.
and honestly, I'm happy that it has a fan base because
Hmm.
I can appreciate the creativity of it because like how I said I'm not an anime fan, but I've seen my fair share, and there are animes that I like, outside of Dragon
Hmm.
Ball Z, like
Yeah.
Afro Samurai, Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho. There's a fair number of them, but it's like I'm just like, look, I be appreciating the artistic style of it and the storytelling, but it's
Right.
always got to be like that formula that just kind of grabs me. Like I was saying earlier, it's like a feeling that I get from it. And then if that
Mhm.
feeling is missing, then I'm usually kind of chill on, whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I say. I would say, just give like season 2 and 3 a chance. If you don't like it by then go ahead and drop it. It's no biggie. But yeah, it's just like, but still to me, like I would want to see a live action Attack on Titan. That I still, even though they
That
did make
that
one.
that would be dope. That would be dope because I've seen maybe 3 episodes of that. Like one of my boys showed it to me. I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
this pretty cool. Like, and he was talking about like how you saying a live action. I was like, honestly, I would be down for that because I've seen how the anime works. I'm not no expert or
Mhm.
nothing, but I've seen how it works, and I feel like
Yeah, you could
the
you could
my
do that.
my yeah, like my creative bubble in my brain is telling me that you can do something really dope with that.
Mhm.
Gentlemen,
Um, yeah.
we were at 2 hours and 45 minutes, and I got to go.
Danny, how much time did I miss when I was cutting out? Was it like a large number, or am I thinking it was longer than what it was? Because
Nah, it wasn't that bad.
okay.
You
Um,
straight.
yeah. Once again, y'all, I do apologize for that. There's no excuses for that kind of shit, but yeah.
Ain't nobody stressing that. It all happens. It all happens from time to time. I got a desktop. I'm hooked, and because my Wi-Fi was so crappy, I went and got hardwire. So I got Ethernet, and sometimes mine still go out. I put in 16 gigabytes of RAM, and sometimes it still. So I'm not worried about that. So shit happens, but
Oh, now I remember the question I was supposed to ask you when my shit started acting funny. It was about the zombie stuff.
mhm.
Like I was gonna ask you, like, so what if I were outside of your house, right? Because you live with your wife, Danny, and then
Mhm.
just your wife, or
My wife, my daughter, and my two grandsons.
okay. So you got the whole family. I was gonna ask you, so what if I'm outside? You see out the window that it's me, and I'm fighting all the walkers and stuff. Do you feel like you would come out and help me, or would you just kind of wait to see if I'm gonna make it to the front door, and then at that
The
He
point
go
you
get
hell
his
would I,
popcorn.
why in the hell
He
would I
go
not?
get
Hmm?
go get his
I
popcorn
said, why
ready.
in the hell would I?
Wait, what?
What reason would I not help you?
Oh no. I'm not assuming that you wouldn't, but it's just in that situation, it's extreme. And I've even had some of my friends tell me like, man, Terrence, you on your own. I can't be getting bit and stuff. I got to think about my family. I'm like, damn.
Oh, I ain't trying to go out there and do no hand to hand combat, but shit, I'm deadly from 500 yards.
Yeah, so you would come out and you would start laying some walkers out to allow me time to get to the door and shit, right?
As I told you, I was in Marine Corps. Every Marine learns how to shoot. And the furthest distance we taught is 500 yards. So I'm
Right.
telling you, 500 yards, I'm pretty damn accurate.
Right.
And
No. I believe that. Yeah, yeah.
longer than that, you're in trouble.
Sure. So you wouldn't like if it's further, so you wouldn't like run out and start shooting to try to.
It depends on the number of walkers, bro. If
Oh
you got,
man, like what's
if
that
it,
mean, Danny?
I'm
Like,
gonna
so
tell you
what's
this.
the limit?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. If it's like 500 damn walkers, your ass is by yourself. If it's
Oh,
like 50 walkers, then I can do something with that. But
oh,
500, I can't die because you. I'm sorry. I gotta
okay,
say,
but don't you think is okay if I'm in a situation and there are 500 walkers and I'm not dead yet? Don't you think by you assisting a little bit
you
would
might.
damn near guarantee that I would survive that situation?
The reason you not dead because you say you were able to at a yellow belt to defeat someone that's superior skill than what you had, but you
And stronger and bigger too.
and bigger, but you were able
Yeah.
to come out on top. So that having that fight in the dog, so to speak, that's why you survive. But somebody got little to tell the story. 500 walkers against two brothers. You know, in most movies, who the first one to die?
That you are 100% right, Danny. But see, the good thing about real life is that we're not scripted to go because of our skin. Like it would purely be based off of,
Uh,
you know, really luck in that
hey,
situation.
the cats that I know ain't gonna be in no situation like that unless it's some shit that they that just came up on them so fast they couldn't react. Because
Oh, oh,
the very inkling of some kind of danger like that, we up out of there.
okay. You're right. Honestly, I wouldn't be in those situations. But like, I mean, look, I'm the type of dude where I have my discipline. I'm tough. I'm not stupid. Like I will admit when I can't do something or if I need help. I'm not going to be one of those characters where I'm like, step back, Danny. These 500 walkers are mine. Like it ain't gonna be none of that shit. It's gonna be like, Danny, I need your help, man. There's like 499 some odd walkers right
I'm
here.
telling
See,
you,
Danny's better than me. I would just been like, oh, I don't know this man.
uh, you like,
Man,
Terrence,
perp, see,
Perp,
see, perp.
y'all better get your ass in this car because you trip, you fall, whatever. I ain't coming back and get you.
See,
So
that's why I'm not gonna say stuff. See, I would be that awesome character that everybody loves that dies. Like I'd be that character, like just go, Daddy, go, and you go, but all right. I'm like, no, you weren't supposed to actually go. Like,
Or you try to hop in my car. It's a 4-door. I'm like, nah, it's a 2-seater, bro.
see, see. Now that's messed up. I can like hop on the door and I'm like just gliding in purpose. Like, no, you gonna tip the car over. You gonna press the button. It's gonna knock my ass off. And
get the car and do a butt like Night Rider on kid rejection.
yeah, kid's gonna be like, there's an intruder, sir. I'm like, yep, you better tell that AI to shut up. I'm trying to get in. Yeah, so but yeah, so you said Danny that you wanted to quickly do what we were talking about earlier again, or how did you want to do that? Because
No, I think we already
you
did
think
what
we got it?
yeah.
Okay.
Unless you feel the need.
Well, I mean, purpose here, like I would like to ask his viewpoint. Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, perp, there was a stream, and you happen to be part of it. Like, how do you feel about the moment of the Terrance bashing? Because like I definitely wanted
I
to.
don't. I mean, you know us, bro. It's like I don't see it as bashing because everybody, even like Zod, gets it the worst out of everybody in the crew. So it's like it was nothing personal. I don't. I hope you didn't take it nothing personal because everybody over there, like everybody rocks with you. Like at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just
that
everybody.
that's why I thought that was odd. I'm like, look, man, like it was treading into territory that I'm just like, I don't like because I'm like, if I can't defend myself, I'm like, all right, like I was like, yo,
Mhm.
send me a link, and then he was like, no, the panel's full. I'm like, come on, man, like like I need to be able to say something back because again, this was treading into territory that I'm used to, which just made
Mhm.
it even more odder. I'm like, yo, I thought these humans were cool with me, and now
Yes,
it just seemed,
yeah, bro.
man.
It's nothing personal because if it was something personal, then like you know what I'm saying, like you probably wouldn't even be on the channel. You know what I'm saying? Like we all dig at each other and stuff over there. You know what I'm saying? But Zod
Well,
gets it the worst though, but out of
oh,
everybody.
oh,
So
okay, well then, because you said okay, Danny, tell them how you felt because when I had presented it to you, like, what were your thoughts? Because I
mhm.
was just like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah. I like I said, I didn't see the actual stream. Terrence sent me a clip of it, and based on just the clip, what I saw, like it had a little venom to it. But like I said, I didn't see the whole thing. I
What?
knew when he sent it to me that he was kind of teed off. But like you said, I don't. I get down with you and Zod because of the power thing, and
Mm,
me and Terrence has
mm,
always clicked. But my thing is, I don't on my channel. I really don't go that way. I mean, I don't care what anybody else do on their channel,
yeah,
but he for whatever reason he didn't like it. It rubbed him wrong. But now that you and him talking and you clearing the air, then for all
yeah.
concerned, we cool with it. But
I'll let you know. It's like Terrence, like it's never anything personal. Like people fuck with you on there. Like if it's something that LB might have said, because I know how LB can get and stuff with certain shit. Like don't ever. I wouldn't take it to heart, honestly. Really,
No,
hey,
no. See,
because
like
like
it was.
before we go any further, let me go ahead and end
mm,
this because I don't want this is a private conversation. Then just
yeah,
stay
yeah,
on, and then we'll go ahead and discuss off the off the channel. All
Oh
right.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
okay, no
Um.
problem.
Again, this is our episode of Equilibrium, starring me and Terrence. We got the show because we usually try to balance each other out with some of our opinions and our explanations and our views on things. We were gracious and lucky enough, and that Pert wanted to join us. He reached out to me last week saying he'd like to be on the show. I have an open invitation. If you can join us, you're welcome to come on the show. On this show, you're going to hear a lot of different topics and discussions, a lot of different opinions. Sometimes we get a little off topic. But most of the time, we're going to talk about stuff that we hope interests you, and we appreciate you coming here and join us. Terrance and I, like I said, we always click since day one. We got together and said, man, how about we do our own show? I think one Sunday, about maybe a month ago, we talked about 3.5 hours, I think. So we know the show. So we enjoy it. It's every Sunday at 6 p.m. Please join us. And then on Monday nights, I have my show called A Chaotic Conversation. Tomorrow's topic is going to be your top 5 favorite comic book heroes that got their own cartoon shows. Terrance to be on there, Maz, Mama Bear, Chris, and also Sean. So before we get off, Perp, tell people they can find you. And Terrance, you'll be last, and you can tell people they can find you at here on YouTube.
I'll go first. Yerp, this Perp Minded. You can find me at Perp Minded. I talk about a bunch of slew of different things. I'm not gonna go into it because we'll be here all day. But you could expect my next video being about Westworld season 3, episode 1. Westworld is back. I'm excited. But yeah, if you like what you heard today from me, just check out my channel. Consider subbing. I'll have a 1K stream. Was it next week, next Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time? So definitely come check me out. It's been dope hanging out and talking with Danny. It's always a pleasure to talk with Danny. Like I always get a laugh out of it, especially with Terrance here. Terrance is my boy, and it was dope.
All right, Terrance, go ahead, brother.
Oh yeah. Hello, humans. I'm Terrance. If you feel so inclined, you can go over to the Tremaine Terrance channel. That's where you will find me. It's a channel that I have with my brother Tremaine, and there are 8,275 videos for you to sift through. If that sounds like a ridiculous number, it's because it is. But at the same time, there are playlists that you can go through that will guide you accordingly throughout the channel. There are over 120 playlists on there that will help you better find what you might be looking for. And, I have my viewpoints, I have my opinions. And, if you feel that you're not going to get upset, you can go over there and, you might enjoy some stuff. I cover movies, like movie reviews, and I review different TV show episodes. Sometimes I'll do it in like individual episodes. Sometimes I'll do an entire season. There are lots of topics that I cover and, stuff there too. So, go over there and then you'll be good.
All right, people. Once again, thank you for your support, everyone on the chat. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel if this is your first time viewing this show. Like I say, it's called Equilibrium, starring me and Terrance. Like I say, we talk about all different topics, all different content. Please join us every Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, hit the notification bell. I don't want you to miss any material that I upload. And also, please give me a thumbs up and please leave back any comments. Your comments will be read and you will get a response from me. I check them daily. So, again, thanks again for your support. See you next time. Peace.